Cooling, electric, and drains? Think Plum Line Services. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, who knows Plum Line to be more than just service professionals, neighbors, reflecting a mission of excellence, character, and ethics, as they've been doing from Castle Rock to Fort Collins since 1998. And in my home, turn to the experts, plumlineservices.com. Service at home, servants at heart. plumlineservices.com.
This report is sponsored by Aer Lingus.
A seasonal and breezy day ahead for your Tuesday. Temperatures are going to be in the low 70s, a little bit of a breeze for this afternoon, back in the mid 70s by Wednesday and 80s by Thursday. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Team meteorologist Kylie Burse.
Your next vacation just got even better with Aer Lingus, the Irish airline. Fly non-stop from Denver to Ireland and connect to over 25 European cities. Get great fares now on airlingus.com. That's airlingus.com.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver.
An iHeart radio station.
Make us the #1 preset on the free iHeart Radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. A man who works at the New Orleans jail is now in jail, arrested and accused of shutting off the water to a toilet to help 10 prisoners escape through a hole behind it late Thursday night. District Attorney Jason Williams.
I mean, Stevie Wonder can see that this was an inside job.
4 of the prisoners have been signed.
Tom, are you there?
I'm here.
Loose. President Trump on Capitol Hill urged...
Do you hear me?
Great. Do you hear me? Hi, yes I do. You sound great.
Thank you.
Liners not to fool around with more Medicaid cuts. We can't use his word. Afterwards, some holdouts would not say if they were convinced. The British government is suspending free trade negotiations with Israel, slapping new sanctions on the West Bank settlements over Israel's military actions in Gaza. Prime Minister Keir Starmer addressing Parliament this morning.
We're horrified by the escalation from Israel.
Israeli Foreign Ministry saying it will not be pressured. This is ABC News. Mortgage rates just got higher again. The average rate for a 30-year fixed mortgage now over 7%. ABC News Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis.
Anyone who's been trying to buy, or even sellers out there, have felt this. The mortgage rates can cause the housing market to slow. When rates crossed 7% in April, usually a very busy time for home buying, we saw a pullback of pending sales of existing homes. These higher rates also cause people to get priced out of the market, especially first-time buyers.
Price hikes coming down the road at Subaru. The car maker, though, not blaming President Trump's tariffs, but what it calls market conditions. After a disciplinary hearing earlier today, U.S. women's rugby star Aliv Kelcher was handed a 3-match ban for stomping on the head of an opponent in a test match against Australia. TV mics captured the ref saying that Kelcher would be getting punished because this is thuggery. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
Police are not anticipating charges against a homeowner who shot a suspect during an alleged home break-in in Aurora. Investigators say the homeowner reported a burglary at his home on Moline Street Sunday. The homeowner then installed cameras on the property and was alerted to another break-in early yesterday morning. Police say the owner and the suspect got into a fight that led to the shooting. The suspect was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. It will be warm and sunny this week along the Front Range.
Today, mostly sunny skies. It's going to be sunny, breezy, and temperatures in the low 70s. Overnight down to the low 40s, and then we warm up for Wednesday, mid-70s, upper 70s by Thursday. Friday's our warmest day in the mid-80s with some storms by the weekend.
That's Fox 31 meteorologist Kylie Burse. Michael Malone is taking on a new role after being fired by the Nuggets. ESPN has hired Malone to be an analyst and commentator during the network's broadcast of the Western Conference Finals between the Thunder and the Timberwolves. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless.
Yeah, we're still doing very well out on the highways and byways, other than a little bit of construction here and there, and that includes E470, the toll highway coming south down past I-76. Still kind of jamming up a bit. They're down to one lane through that stretch. 270's running heavy, especially west to Vasquez, I-70 west from just before Colorado coming into I-25, I-25 south into downtown, as well as northbound. Just a little sluggish, even out of the Tech Center, 225 coming in from Parker, but again, no major difficulties. I-70 rock scaling possible today. We'll keep you updated on that. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Straight Talk might not be on your shopping list, but it should be. Next time you're grabbing some milk off the shelf at your local Walmart, stop by the Straight Talk aisle and switch to real unlimited data. It's quick and convenient. It won't even take up room in your cart.
Our home is the cradle of our family. That's why I recommend Zero Res. Carpet, tile, and grout, hardwood, laminate, stone, upholstery, rugs, and air ducts. No harmful chemicals. Get 3 rooms at $119 and take $75 off duct cleaning. ZeroResDenver.com. 303-471-5150. 471-5150. Don't risk the chemicals and excessive water of those other guys. 303-471-5150. ZeroResDenver.com.
Is credit card debt ruining your life? Did you know you have a right to settle that debt for much less than you owe? DebtBlue has helped people just like you resolve millions of dollars of high-interest credit card debt. They can help with payment relief, the burden of rising inflation, and have a large portion of your debt wiped clean. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, a free 10-minute phone call could save you thousands. Discover how to reduce or completely resolve your credit card debt. In fact, we're so sure that we can reduce your debt that we offer the DebtBlue Success Guarantee. We don't get paid unless your debt gets reduced or resolved, so there's absolutely no risk to call. For your free debt resolution plan, call 800-375-1158. That's 800-375-1158. The call is free. The consultation is free. The more you owe, the more you can save. Call now. 800-375-1158. 800-375-1158.
Hurt in a car crash? Get John Fuller on your side. Call Fuller.com.
Denver's talk station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Money. That's money. Enter it now at khow.com. Keep listening to win on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
I'm Tom Martino. First and foremost, happy to be alive. And thank you for being here. You know, I have the privilege of coming on the air every day, as I've been doing for more than 50 years, in Denver 45 years, on radio and TV, and now primarily radio on my Troubleshooter Show, the longest running radio show, still on the air with the same host. It is the record breaker. So if you have a problem, question, or complaint, you can call us, or just want to get something off your chest. The other day we were talking about data mining. Data mining, finding out as much as you can about a topic and pursuing it. Data mining, where did you get my name? How did you get my name? What prompted you to call me? Businesses live and die by data mining. You want to know, how did this customer come to me, and how can I keep more customers coming to me? And what did I do right, or what did I do wrong? And then it occurred to me, of all the data mining in the world, I talk to more consumers than any business. I'm not saying I have more customers than any business, but if you think about the consistency of you guys calling in for the last 50 years, Monday through Friday, in some way, shape, or form, I've had a show where I've taken calls and I've cataloged them. So I have a great mind to go find things. And also, each and every day we hear from people. And I think you've seen how trends change. What used to turn on consumers years ago may not rattle their chain anymore. And businesses are all trying to do one thing: rise above the static. They're trying to stand out. That's why they do keyword searches in Google, or that's why they do crazy, clickbait. Have you seen the clickbait where put paper? Put pennies in a paper bag and hang over your doorway. Here's why. I never did find out why, by the way, because you click on that and it's not about the pennies in the bag. It's about 16 other hacks, and you got to go through each page. Now, the whole idea of this clickbait is to keep you engaged so you see as many ads as possible. It's never to sell just one product. Have you ever noticed this other trend? And I'm wondering if you have, where you see a product on Instagram or on YouTube or anywhere. You see a product and you're interested in it. I mean, you click to learn more, but they're just so they trying to convince you so much to buy it, they never get around to selling it to you. You can't even fast forward. It makes you watch the whole damn thing. And sometimes I think, my God, I'm not wasting my time here doing this. I just want to buy it, or I just want to try it. Anyway, my question to you today is, how do you make buying decisions? Really, how do you? I believe we're all the same at our core and that we are not crazy. And I think here on the Troubleshooter Show, we tend to get the people who don't follow the norm. The norm is to research. The norm is to be proactive in finding businesses or products, and then to close on that business or product and to get information you need to enjoy that product or that service. And I think a lot of us, we think the world goes crazy because we hear a few people who've done things wrong. Let's go to the phones, though. And my main goal today, I'd like to know how you formulate your buying decisions. Honest to God, I want to data mine you. I have the greatest field to mine every single day. And we can help small business find out what they're doing right or what they're doing wrong. For example, I'd love to know, and you can comment on YouTube. My morons love commenting. Or you can text me at 57739. That's the short code. And that's the short code. You just put that in and hit send. The text will come to me. Put Tom in there somewhere. That's the iHeart number, 57739. Then you can do my personal texting number, which is 747-999-5280. 747-999-5280. I'd like to know what formulates your buying decisions. Honest to goodness. You know what's great about this topic? There's no right or wrong answer. Whatever you do is the right answer because that's what you do. And I think we can educate people. Now, Charles had an issue with an HVAC, and I think the main issue, if I remember rightly, was it the price he paid? Well, actually, this was the one where he called Home Depot and he thought he was calling a crisis intervention program to get him a furnace at a special deal. Bo, are you there? Can you fill me in on this one? And I know we have Charles on the line. Charles, you said you called a number.
Yes.
And you thought you were getting some kind of special helpline, right?
Right. It was the Intervention Crisis Helpline, and they did not help me one bit. But I
think it was a scam. I don't know what this crisis intervention hotline is. It sounds like a tricky way to make sales.
Yeah, that's what it is. You hit the nail right on the head because they wanted me to send all this and all that.
And is Home Depot the only company they referred you to?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's some kind of sneaky marketing arm of Home Depot. What happened then?
Okay, to cut out all the chase, I would like to give kudos to one of your experts by the name of Bo. Bo did went up and beyond the call of duty. He came out and he looked at the furnace and he did He turned on the pilot light, and he did some other things to the furnace, and the furnace works excellent.
Okay, do we
now.
have Bo? Hold on
We
one
have
second.
heat.
Do we have Bo anywhere to be seen? Kachina, is he in the studio or is he on the line or anywhere? Because I'd love to get his perspective on this.
He's not in
the studio today.
Not yet. He's not in studio. I will try to get him on the
All right.
line.
Why don't I want you to hold on a second, and I don't want you to leave, Charles, because I want to know what the issue was. And Charles, did this problem happen all of a sudden, where you woke up and did not have heat? Did it happen all of a sudden?
Well, this has been an ongoing issue that the pilot light did not work.
Okay, got it.
The furnace would not throw out no heat.
Okay.
It would be cold always in this house.
Okay. You hold on, and we'll figure out what Bo did, what he found. And he's a godsend here when it comes to HVAC and mechanical problems around the house. So hang in there, Charles. I'm marking this pending because, and this brings up another thing, what I call deceitful marketing. I don't like deception in marketing where you think you're calling, like I had someone call the other day. They called my home the other day and I happened to answer it. And it said, "Hello, this is so-and-so. We're scheduling inspections of the roofs in the area to make sure blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Excuse me, who are you with?" He tried to make it sound like, well, we're doing this and we have to make a time. Not, I'm a roofing company trying to get your business. And I said, "Excuse me, who are you with? Inspection service? Is that a county?" And I knew it was. And I said, "Is that with the county?" He goes, "Yes, we are in." This is what he said. "Yes, we are in Arapahoe County doing these inspections to make sure blah, blah, blah are up to code and this." And I said, "Well, but you didn't answer me. Are you with the county?" "No, sir." I said, "Who are you with? Who is actually paying your bill?" I finally figured out it was a roofing company. But I don't like deception. And a lot of these places, they deceive you into thinking they're someone special or they're with the government or that this is routine. Just let us do it for you. And it's deception. Or like this, what Charles called on. Charles called on a crisis intervention program for no heat, but they were actually just working for Home Depot. It's a marketing arm. And I find it deceiving. I don't know how you people feel about it, but I find it very deceiving. Anyway, we will talk to him coming up, and I'm going to also take some other calls. So hang on, please. I'm going to take a quick break, and my goal today is to race through calls and to get you solved. 303-713-8255. Fix it 24/7. For your sump pump service, $49. Get it before the spring rains. What they'll pull the pump, adjust it, clean it, and tune it, and it's only $49. FixMyHome.com. Book now.
Yep.
The riveting podcast, What Happened to Talina Czar, unravels the chilling mystery surrounding a woman's disappearance during the COVID-19 lockdown, the internet sleuths who wouldn't let it go, and the dark subcultures and betrayals they unearthed.
There were a lot of secrets that were very hard to find.
Listen to What Happened to Talina Czar on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow What Happened to Talina Czar and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
I love talking about Excel Roofing. I've said this before. I think Excel Roofing is one of the best run companies, not just one of the best run roofing companies. First and foremost, when they sign you to a full, complete, detailed contract, which most don't, but when Excel does it, there are no penalty clauses if you change your mind. They're not trying to hoodwink you into a job. Then you don't pay a penny, not one penny, until they're completely done and you're 100% satisfied. They've been doing this for years. The only roofer that does this. Excel Roofing. They can do gutter cleaning and they can do repairs as well. Excel as in excellent, EXCEL. ExcelRoofing.com, 303-761-6400. You know, Gravina's has windows. I love talking about Gravina's on 950 West Evans, where Larry started after working with his dad, and now Nick is working with Larry, and it's a whole family tradition from the beginning. 950 West Evans. Look for Gravina's windows, siding, and doors, 50 lines of windows, multiple lines of siding and doors. They have what you're looking for. 303 Gravina's. Easy to remember, right? Gravina, Gravina, 303 Gravina, or gravinas.com. Investing in real estate can be, pretty risky. But Vestera Turnkey has a program to help you become a landlord without the conventional risks and hassles. They hold your hand really through the whole process. I'm actually going through it, where you buy a property with them, well, not with them, but they show you what to buy, where to buy, when to buy. They help you as a broker. Then you get that property. They help you with the management company to keep it rented and to make money on the rent. And then they help you sell it. They do it all under Vestera Turnkey, which helps you become a landlord and get all the benefits without the conventional risks and hassles. So I want you to look them up. MyBiggestReturn.com. MyBiggestReturn.com.
Thank you.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
Just to fill you in, Fatu called yesterday afternoon at the end of the show, and we got Brian on, but we were getting up to it on time.
Should I take him next?
She has a bunch of handbags that got stolen.
And they won't pay.
And Brian, Mark had me ask Brian to come on as an expert to see what kind of insurance implication.
Got it.
Just so you know.
But Fatu had his car stolen and the stuff was in his car, right? Or not?
No. Fatu had handbags stolen.
Okay, got it.
They were like shipping containers.
Okay. Got it. Thank you for that follow-up.
Yeah.
I mean, the information helped me to understand it.
And we do have Bo on to talk about Charles, but I don't know if Fatu and, since
Gotcha.
Brian Burns is on, we
Gotcha.
might want to go to him.
Right. Gotcha. It's a her, right?
Yep.
Yes.
We checked.
All right, I got all of that down, Pratt.
refy.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Fix it 24/7. In addition to that sump pump for $49, you can have your furnace or your AC tuned up for $39 before the heat. FixMyHome.com. Book now. So they have this is the home of the specials. Fix it 24/7. FixMyHome.com. Book now. Okay. I want to bring up a call first before I go anywhere else. that I want to consult Brian Burns on. Brian Burns was the Compass Insurance Group, our insurance experts. Fatu, she had some handbags shipped so she used a shipping company, 150 bags in 10 boxes. 3 of the 10 boxes didn't make it to the destination. Now, Fatu, who did you use to ship these?
It's called, it's an individual, but it goes by GP, I think that's French, Cargo GP.
So it was, okay. And where'd you
So
find,
the cargo,
when you said an
cargo,
individual, where'd you find, why didn't you just go to UPS or FedEx? I mean, why did you go to this shipping company? I never heard of them.
So this shipping company was referred to me by the embassy of Senegal.
Okay, got
long
it.
time ago.
All
So
right.
he has tons of, he does it shipping company throughout West Africa, not just one country.
Okay, I got you. That's why we haven't heard from him here. Okay, what went wrong?
Well, we've been working together on and off for 9 years, and he took 10 boxes that we shipped from Dakar to the United States. But the 10 boxes made it to Atlanta. And he told us that he's ready to ship them to me. But out of the 10 boxes, only 7 made it. And out of those 7 boxes, 3 of them were just straps. But in the boxes are very unique.
Three of them were what? Fatu, 3 of them were what?
Straps, handbags. We make handbags,
Yeah.
and the straps of the handbags. Yeah. So 3 of the boxes were only straps of the handbags.
And what?
So
and those are the ones. And those are the boxes missing.
No, the boxes that I received were 7 out of 10.
Okay.
So out of the 7 boxes that I received, 3 of them were straps, which means that my product, the actual product, I've only received 4 boxes of actual product.
Okay. So how many does that make out of the 150 bags?
So we did 150 bags were the initial estimate. So we finally opened up, after making the police report, opened up the boxes, and we ended up with about 290 individual items mixed all together.
Okay. So what is your question? Did you have this shipment insured?
So the shipping company, I don't know if they have insurance or not, but what we do, they give us an estimate of how much it costs to ship, and we pay them the money as when we receive the product. I mean, once the product
But what
is
about
in the
insurance?
US, we pay the money.
Fatu, what about insurance? Was insurance discussed? Did you have insurance? Is there insurance available? I mean, tell me about the insurance part.
I have a business insurance, but for the shipping part, I don't have a particular shipping insurance. To me, that's covered by the shipping company. But I don't have any knowledge
Fatu.
of.
It's not necessarily covered by the shipping company, but it's usually something that's discussed. What was the value of this shipment in general? What was the overall value of this shipment?
So the overall value of the shipping, we did not calculate, but we calculated the overall value of the items that were lost.
Okay. Give me the value of the items that were lost.
That's $200,000.
Wait a minute. You're saying that you lost $200,000 in this shipping.
Right.
Now, who do you expect to pay for that?
The shipper.
And okay, good answer, but why? Now I'm going to ask, why do you think they should pay for it?
Because I believe that it's stolen. He tells me that it's lost, but I don't believe that. He said that the 3 boxes, which are big boxes,
No,
three, and I sent some
Fatu,
pictures
you're
to
not
you.
answering my question. I'm not asking you what he said. I am asking you, why do you believe the shipper owes you $200,000 for the lost items?
Because the items were lost in his care.
Okay. Another good answer. Now I'm going to ask Brian Burns his opinion. I don't really know. Brian, if I blindly go to a shipper that I've been using for a while and I have this stuff shipped and $200,000, for God's sake, shows up missing, who's responsible for it? My first, before you even answer, Brian, Fatu, I got to ask you a question. If that part of the shipment was 200, what's the value of the whole shipment? About $500,000? What was the value of this shipment?
That we have to calculate.
Well,
Because
just
these
give
are
me
very
a
special
rough
items.
idea. Give me a rough idea. It was more than 200. How much was it? If you value the whole shipment, how much is it approximately?
Well, I would say about 280,000.
Okay. Now, Brian, when somebody is shipping something worth 280,000, I would never ship anything of that value without making sure I had insurance. Fatu, did you ever ask them if they had insurance?
No.
Okay. Now, I want to know
was
something.
there a contract associated?
Did you have a shipping
I'm sorry, I
contract?
didn't get that. What was the shipping was verbal contract.
Okay. So she has a verbal contract to ship. $200,000 is missing. Brian, you can't automatically assume. I mean, just talk about it. Do shippers have automatic insurance?
No. Well, I mean, as you guys, even from a smaller standpoint, if you're shipping something, a lot of times they'll have some insurance automatically on it, but it's a very small amount. If you're going to be shipping that kind of dollar amount, you need to actually specify the amount of insurance. Now, on a commercial policy, property policy, she might have even been able to call her agent and get what's called an inland marine policy that would cover, if she was responsible for it during the shipping, she might have been able to get insurance. Since it was coming overseas, I say maybe, but you could at least have that conversation. But I mean, I don't know who you're going to be able to go after to get this kind of money.
Now, here's one thing I will say, Fatu. I want you to make a distinction here. When we're talking about insurance, that's one thing. But when we're talking about liability, that's another. For example, Fatu, that company could be liable to you because they lost your shipment, meaning that if they were negligent or at fault, you can go after them. However, that doesn't mean that they have insurance for it. So insurance and liability are two separate things. People often, Brian, lump them together. And it really doesn't matter. Liability is if they are responsible. Insurance is covering if they are responsible, if they have the insurance. So Fatu, you're barking up
there is some sort of contract.
Fatu, the very first thing I want to ask
there very
you.
well might be a limit.
Fatu, I'm going to assume there was no insurance on this. I'm just going to assume that. But that doesn't get the company out of trouble. What did the company do wrong? Can you nail them for this? Because they still may have to pay you whether they have insurance or not.
Yes, I can. Well, quickly, I have to say, it's a fraud. It's a planned fraud. And I have tons of documentation. But why am I saying this? The company acknowledged that they have the 10 boxes that arrived in Atlanta. They had those 10 boxes. And 3 of the boxes are missing. So that makes them responsible, number one.
But what
Number
makes
two,
them, but wait. Okay. On shipping, you would assume that when they take control of your packages, they're responsible for them. But they may not be negligent. What if a truck was robbed? What if something happened? Does anyone know what happened to these 10 boxes?
So that's the investigation part. We can investigate because you said the back of the U-Haul, the U-Haul it's not any truck, it's a U-Haul. So for a U-Haul, the back of a U-Haul truck to fly open and have 3 big boxes fall out of that, it didn't have a traffic jam. Nobody has seen anything. That's impossible.
So are you saying that you saying the 10 boxes that are missing, 10 of them, that some of them fell out of the truck?
That's what he's saying, but I'm saying that that's a lie.
Well, I would say they would be liable if they packed the truck and 3 of them fell out of the truck. Look, your best bet is not to try to get insurance because you don't have any contract. You can't just walk up to an insurance company and say, I want you to cover this. What you need to do is sue the shipping company. Does the shipping company have any money? Is the guy rich? Does he have anything? Does he own a building? Is he worth going after? Can he cover $200,000 in losses?
He has a lot of businesses going on, but I don't know how much money he has. But I can tell you, Tom, that the reason I'm saying is the ceiling. When we pack our product, we don't pack. We have new lines, multiple different lines. We don't pack all of the one line in one box. So we actually divide our lines into multiple boxes because we assume that if something happens to one of the boxes, and that one box happens to be one complete line, we'll lose all that line.
No, I get it. You divide the shipment. You divide the shipment up. But we need to reduce this to the simplest common denominator. Fatu, I think you're looking about this the whole way. You're running after insurance companies, and you shouldn't be. You have no contract with any insurance company, and you can't create one out of thin air, and you can't go after an insurance company because you think the company should have had it. So hold on, and I'll give you what I would do coming up.
Thank you.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon.
Tom, quick trivia question. Is Mitch Floria with you?
No,
now,
he's
impact
canceled.
traffic.
This report.
Okay, thank you.
Mattress Firm.
Yeah, we've had one accident on I-70 westbound approaching Colorado. It's in the left lane. Fire rescue units have been on the scene there. The slowdown or backup is just about to Havana. A little tight there the closer you get to the accident. You can use the HOV lane to get around or keep to the right. 270 is running a little heavy west up through Vasquez, and I-25 is coming south, even northbound into downtown. Just slight slowing in there. 225 coming down the hill from Parker. A little bit of traffic to contend with also. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Don't postpone better sleep. Shop Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale now. Upgrade to a premium bed from a curated selection and take your rest to the next level. Don't miss out. Visit Mattress Firm today. Get matched. Sleep at night.
We all want information about everything we do. When we're in a car accident, we want information about personal injury. And no matter how many times you hear my commercials, you will say, what did Tom say about that? Or what did John Fuller say about that? John Fuller is our expert. And no matter how much he's on the air, when it comes to your accident, you're going to want to know specifics. He will talk to you free of charge. If you're in an accident, even before you hire anyone, he will talk to you. No other attorneys do that. Call John Fuller and ask about your accident. He'll help value it, tell you what to do, what your next steps are. And then if you decide to hire him, there's still no out-of-pocket. It's on a percentage fee basis. You even get a cell phone you can call or text at any time. 303-597-4500, 597-4500. AmericanFinancing.net. I know you've heard the name. They're a big lender. And what they're doing now is helping people. Yeah, you heard rates are going up and all that, but no matter what, credit card rates are going up too. So credit card rates are always going to be about 20% higher, I swear to you, than home rates. 20% higher. Sometimes, if you're lucky, 15% higher. But you got to get rid of that high interest debt. And I recommend a smart equity loan. Now, you're not eating up all your equity. You're taking enough equity to pay off the high interest debt. You're immediately saving that money when you do it because high interest goes nowhere except to the creditor. You get a handle on that interest, start paying off that debt quicker, and you're quicker on your road to recovery. Find out about this. Get out of high interest debt with American Financing, the people that understand your plight and can help you. 303-695-7000. Call them, 303-695-7000. AmericanFinancing.net. How much time do I have?
Very. 3.5.
Thank you.
You will come back, right?
Yes.
Hey, Tom. Tom?
All right, what are we doing here? Are we done with Brian?
I don't think so.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Bo. Hi, we're going to get to you as soon as possible, okay? We're dealing with this other situation, but we're going to get to you, okay? Okay, no problem. Hold on. All right, Charles, we got Bo on. He's going to comment about your case. I just ask that you be patient, okay?
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Patricia, I just ask that you be patient.
Did you realize
we're gonna get to
that the
as
shipper
soon
is
as
in
possible,
Senegal,
okay?
West Africa?
Yeah, I just realized that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
When you said it.
Wait, what?
And Fatu said yesterday that she
You can
thinks
talk
the
to Tom
shipper
about that
has
when you
been
go on
bugging
air.
her about getting in this
Okay,
handbag
hold on.
business, and maybe that's why
Yeah.
Hold on.
a couple boxes are missing.
She's out of luck.
Yeah.
Especially shipping with Somali pirates.
I had the best Somali pirate Uber driver ever. Shut up.
Well, you're not exactly. What was the movie? Captain Phillips? Whatever.
Oh, that was the best shot ever from a SEAL, right?
I guess so.
Or,
Popping
no,
his.
it was what do you call him?
Oh, crap.
SEAL Team 6 or something?
SEAL Team 69. Here we go.
ERHI.com.
All right. So Fatu first contacted us because part of her shipment from Senegal, Africa, is missing. It's worth about $200,000. So she's assuming there's insurance. Now, Brian Burns, I want to talk about insurance. What if there is insurance she doesn't know? How does she find out if there is insurance? How does anyone find out?
Exactly what you're talking about doing, you sue them. Because at that point, they'll get their insurance involved if it is there. But if she just tries to call him or, he doesn't have to answer her question of whether there's insurance. But if she wants to make sure the insurance gets involved, if there is any, you would do exactly what you were talking about, figure out liability and then sue.
It's unfortunate. Brian is with Compass Insurance Group, and Brian, even if he does have insurance, it may not cover this, right? I mean, there are different.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, they might say that he's not negligent, and in my opinion, it would shock me if there's not some sort of contract, whether she said this is just verbal, but if this is a legitimate company, there's probably a contract that limits his liability on the items that are shipped. It's really going to be on a person shipping the items. If they have that kind of value, they need to insure them. They need to specify insurance for it.
Thank you, Brian. By the way, that's home of the insurance checkup, where they'll review your insurance to make sure you're not out of whack with insurance, paying too much or maybe underinsured or whatever. 303-996-9000. Now, here's what I would do, okay? You're not going to like it, Fatu, because you got a really bad situation. You don't have a contract. You have a shipper in Senegal, Africa. So now you have to prove the shipper was negligent. If the shipper was negligent, you need to sue them for the value. You're going after insurance. Don't go after insurance. It's not an insurance item. It's a negligence claim. You're claiming the shipper was negligent. Now, you're going to have to do that in Senegal.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay.
I just wanted to say quickly that I'm not going after the insurance, but I'm going after the company because I believe that
that's right.
Solid.
That's what you do. You go after the company in Senegal for negligence. And I don't know what their laws are, but good luck. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a very, very, very difficult one. And by the way, this is not just for exotic handbags or anything, but people, you need to think in terms of shipping. We all have things shipped, whether it be Amazon or eBay or whatever. Have you ever looked into shipping? Because, you know, there's an age-old problem. Who owns the property? When you buy something on Amazon or on eBay or another service and it's shipped to you and it doesn't get to you, is it yours when they hand it over to the shipper and now it's your responsibility? Or is it still their responsibility until you put your hands on it? I have an answer for that. But I want you to tell me, whose property is it? Okay? You see it online, you buy it, they pack it up and hand it over to the shipper, and it never makes it to you. Was that contract fulfilled? And now you're screwed because you have to find out where your package went. Or is it not yours until you pick it up at your door? What do you think? The answer is going to surprise you. You know why? Because the answer is it's your product once you buy it. When they hand it over to the shipper, it's yours. So you have to make sure, unless the contract specifies otherwise. But when you go online and buy it, and it says congratulations or shipping in progress, they're shipping your package. All right, Deputy Bo is on now, and we're going to follow this problem up. Deputy Bo, what I really do know is that this guy thought he was dealing with some kind of crisis hotline. It was just some kind of fancy marketing ploy by Home Depot. I don't mind that, but it's kind of weird. Charles did not get the service he wanted, and you said you would take a look at it. What did you find?
Right.
He needed a furnace, but you went over and made his furnace work. Tell me about it.
Right. He did call this energy outreach. I didn't investigate that. Apparently, by making the call, Home Depot sent out an HVAC company, and they told him that their parts were not available for the furnace. They quoted him, I believe it was $6,900. And Charles, being a disabled person on low income, has not had heat for 2 months. I went over there last Saturday, took my daughter with me to help me. Went over there, checked it all out. The contractor removed the heating access door, so I couldn't properly light it. So I actually borrowed some parts from another furnace at my rental. Was able to put it together, clean the pilot, And I did a carbon monoxide test and a gas leak test, and basically we got Charles' furnace up and running, and I told Charles the parts are certainly available for the unit. So I believe the Troubleshooter Show saved him $6,900 from the
My
new
God.
furnace.
Bo, what did it turn out to be?
A dirty Pilot, and I cleaned the thermocouple, and I replaced the burner access door, which I believe whoever was out there purposely removed it to disable the unit.
And you fixed it. What would that have cost on the open market?
$1,500 maybe, with all the work.
Okay, so around $1,500, and they quoted him $6,900.
Yes.
And they said that even at that, the parts are not readily available.
Well, they weren't interested in repairing it because they told Charles will tell you, they told him that they cannot repair the furnace because they said that parts for the unit is no longer available.
So the $6,900 was for a replacement?
I got it for a brand new furnace. And Charles just couldn't afford it. He's on a fixed income.
You know, Deputy Bo.
So I think they were used.
Yes. You did a great job again, man. I'm down. You're knocking out of the park with these things.
You got to give him a hand.
I'm also going to send Charles a list of the available parts, so in case he has trouble in the future, he will know that parts are available. It's a ream furnace, and parts are still available. It was just a pretty easy repair.
Thank you very much, Charles. Thank you. I got to take a break. We got more coming up.
Thanks, buddy.
Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by Furniture Row.
Yeah, we've had one accident on I-70 westbound approaching Colorado. It's in the left lane. Fire rescue units have been on the scene there. The slowdown or back.
Do you have the sisters with you?
A little tight there the closer you get to the accident. You can use the HOV lane to get around or keep to the right.
Do some B12.
To Vasquez, and I-25 is coming south, even northbound into downtown. Just slight slowing in there. 225 coming down the hill from Parker. A little bit of traffic to contend with also. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Shop the massive 4-day sale at Furniture Row. Take $100 off every $1,000 you spend. Find doorbuster deals up to 60% off while they last. Plus 60 months, no interest. It's the perfect time to refresh your living, dining, and bedroom look. Hurry! The massive 4-day sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
You know, when I do commercials for Zero Res, I'm doing commercials for purified water, and I'm doing commercials for health. And not just carpet cleaning. Of course, they do tile and grout, any flat surface in your home, mattresses, upholstery. What do I love about Zero Res? As I said, the health. But I love the cleanliness too. Your carpets look new, feel new. So do your so does your tile and grout and your other floors. They do away with the dirt and the pathogens and the allergens and all the crud from previous cleanings. That's why it's called Zero Res. They use softened, super purified water, alkaline based, which is the best cleaning agent in all of nature. And that's why it works. And that's why it makes your house healthier, even the indoor air quality. You know, you can go with other people, but you'll never get the Zero Resified clean. ZeroResDenver.com, 303-471-5150, 471-5150. Do it today, ZeroResDenver.com. Sheridan Auto Tech will do a pre-buy inspection on your used car for just $120. That's 2 hours of extensive going over your car and looking at all the major systems. And you can trust Sheridan, not just for pre-buy inspections, but for any issues you have. Regular maintenance and repairs. Even if your car's under warranty, they can do it. I've switched over to Sheridan Auto Tech. You should too. And my car's relatively new. You should use Sheridan. They even do electrical repairs. They have convenience, value, honesty, longevity, everything you want. 303-455-7242. 455-7242. SheridanAutotech.com. You know, when you have a company that's been around 65 years, you know they're doing something right, and that's K&H Windows. K&H Windows, which is now K&H Home Solutions, is owned by Lee Diamond and his son. They took it over from Ted, and Ted took it over from the original owner, and I've known all of them. And here's what they do. They continue their warranties. They continue their service to you with quality products, windows, siding, doors, and more. K&H has what you're looking for, including, by the way, Painter Pros. Whatever you're looking for, you can get it at K&H for your home. That's 303-421-7100. 421-7100. They even have a bathroom division to do interior baths. 303-421-7100. khwindows.com.
Imagine
Fabulous.
Thanks.
Can you believe it's only been an hour? Holy crap.
I know. We got a lot done.
Ugh. You know, what happened with Fatima is they probably opened one of the shipping containers. It was full of people. They felt bad.
Oh, God.
And they let them all leave with a handbag as a parting gift.
Oh, my God.
Stop that.
What? I don't know. I don't know how it goes down there in the shipping dock. We're glad Kelly has the giggles today.
Not at all because of you.
I know, but it's better than the days you come and have the I want to kill you alls as opposed to the giggles. I want to kill you all.
Where's the mimosa?
That was yesterday. Did you know that it was Mimosa Day? National Mimosa Day.
I
was
didn't
yesterday.
even know. I should have
know.
brought some in. Damn it.
Well, maybe call it Unmimosa Day and celebrate 363 days, the rest of the 64 days. 65? 4. Kelly, you familiar with Rent?
The
musical?
Never seen it, but yes, I'm
You
familiar.
know, you could have a mimosa a minute. 525,600 mimosas.
Oh, yeah, that would kill me. Shit,
We're
I
trying.
can't.
Here we go.
Hi, Tom Martino. Let's start with Trisha and car toys. Hello, Trisha. What's going on?
Hi, Tom. So, I had gone to Car Toys to get a new car radio, and I was driving to a friend's house going about 65 on Highway 36 when my hood flew open. And I tried contacting Car Toys, and they said that they looked at the footage. They keep telling me they never opened up the hood, but I personally don't believe them. When I asked them if they could send me the security footage, they said the only way that they can send the footage to anyone is if they open a police investigation.
Well, that's not true. I mean, that might be their policy. You know what I mean? They might have an internal policy that says we don't give you footage unless there's a claim. But Trisha, I want to ask a few questions. You picked up your car from Car Toys, and how long did you drive it before the hood opened?
I think about 15 minutes or so. I'm not 100% sure.
So it was right when you picked it up.
Pretty much, yeah. I got into I-25 to 36.
And how fast were you going?
On 36, I was going about 65, about that.
Don't you have an emergency latch that keeps it latched even if it opens?
I'm supposed to, but my dad actually looked at the latch and saw the bolts were missing for some reason.
But it was there before you took it in?
Yep.
All right. I want you to hold on, Tricia. This sounds like too much of a coincidence. I can't see how they could just turn their back on you completely. So hold on. We'll talk about it.
Thank you.
Tell him to drink some tea.
Just teabag it. Just don't even add water. Man, I should start doing that. Golly. I have so much tea here. Really hundreds of bags of tea.
I don't even know if we're up on YouTube.
I think we are. I saw Tommy earlier. He looked great.
Stretch my legs in between. I'm in an extended break.
You were asking if we're up on YouTube.
6 minutes. Stretch my legs.
Speaker Mike Johnson doesn't appear to have the votes. Holdouts in his party, some calling for changes to Medicaid, others saying that they want a higher cap on the state and local tax credit, and then there are rank and file members who say they are concerned that it's changed too much from the one the House Republican leadership promised them. International pressure mounting for Israel to boost aid into Gaza. Yesterday, the first aid trucks rolling through for the first time in 11 weeks after Israel lifted its blockade. Several weather alerts, including the threat of tornadoes stretching from the south to the northeast. This past week's storms now land for more than 24 deaths. This is ABC News. In New Orleans, a maintenance worker at Orleans Parish Justice Center has been arrested. He allegedly shut off the water to the toilet to help 10 inmates escape last week, and the fourth escapee has been captured in just the past 24 hours. On Monday, a home security camera captured the scene as Louisiana State Police caught up with 21-year-old Gary Price. He was one of 10 prisoners who slipped through a hole behind a toilet at the Orleans Parish Jail on Friday. More than 200 law enforcement are working around the clock to find the other 6 escapees, some of whom are facing murder charges. Jim Ryan, ABC News. Following several fires during flights, passengers on Southwest Airlines will no longer be allowed to store portable charging devices in their bags or overhead bins.
Oh, no.
Passengers will now be required to keep power banks out so crews can easily intervene if a lithium battery catches on fire.
Oh.
What?
No, that's not bad. No, they were saying that you have to like keep your, if you have a charger deck.
Yeah.
You have to keep it out.
Like this one that I have
No.
plugged in right now.
No. Here we go. This. If you have a power bank, you have to leave it out. You can't put it in your check or carry-on. Makes sense. Not bad.
As if.
No, these keep blowing up and damn near killing people.
So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council. K-How News Time, 11:03. If you're
Again, as if. Oh, you mean not just leave them out in the street?
Well, they don't want them on sidewalks.
Or the sidewalk. That's a good one, too.
That's the most important because they had people in wheelchairs complaining, and that's a target demo. I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't want to do it anymore.
It's the massive 4-day sale at Denver Mattress. Save 30% on the Doctor's Choice lineup. Any size, any model. Get a Colorado Twin for only $149.99. Shop top brands like Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, and Purple. Plus 60 months, no interest, and free shipping. Massive 4-day sale at Denver Mattress ends Monday. Keep listening for your chance to win $1,000. Every hour, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. With up to 9 chances a day to win a grand. Thank you so much. On Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW. Get ready. Sponsored by Maverick. It's time to stack your savings. Maverick wants you to get the most out of your Adventure Club offers, in-store deals, and third-party coupons. So our new checkout feature lets you combine them. Join the Adventure Club and head in today. Maverick, Adventure's first stop. This is Game Capitalist. Too many in Colorado have no respect for human life. That lack of respect for human life is behind the explosion of reckless driving on our roadways. For the past 4 years, I have stood up for the dignity.
Under 60 degrees? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Oh man, it is perfect pants-free cigar weather.
Every temperature is pants free.
Well, it can be too hot and uncomfortable. Stuff gets sticky. Oh, but this weather. Oh.
Denver's Talk Station has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank.
Oh man, we're coming back, but you got a ton more show to do. I hope you're ready.
Why? Of course I am. Why wouldn't I?
Sure. I don't know.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino here. And we've been solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, making your life a little easier, as we've done for 45 years. Listen, there's something I got to bring up because it comes up all the time. Shipping. Don't assume when you ship something, it's automatically covered. It's automatically covered by the shipper or by you or by someone else. And when do you own something? Do you own it when you make the transaction, or do you own it when you get delivered? For example, if you make a transaction online and they ship it and it doesn't get to you, whose problem is it? It's your problem. Unless you make a contract that's fulfilled upon receipt of it at your door, it's really your problem. Now, Amazon kind of takes the risk out of it because Amazon makes it so if they ship something and you don't get it, they'll send it out again. Amazon is really in a class all by itself. But if you're ever dealing online, for example, We've had this happen from peer-to-peer transactions. Somebody buys something in North Carolina, and John Smith goes and puts something in a box and takes it to FedEx. FedEx never delivers it. It's lost. That's your problem. That's not John Smith's problem. Unless John Smith never took it to FedEx. That's a whole different ballgame. That's why you want a receipt. But shipping, we always take for granted, and we shouldn't. We should look into everything we buy if it's important, and who's insuring it, and who's responsible for it until you get it in your hands. All right. Now, Trisha said she had a car radio put in at Car Toys and was on the highway within 15 minutes or so, and her hood flew open. Now, that's too much of a coincidence, Trisha. What do they say?
They kept telling me that it wasn't their fault and that they never opened up the hood at all, even though I know they would have to disconnect the battery to do any electrical work in any car.
What kind of car do you have?
It's a 2002 Hyundai XG350.
Okay. Now, what harm did it do?
Currently, my hood is bent in half, and it will not latch again. I also have a giant dent in the top of my car.
How much is this all going to cost to fix?
I'm not sure. I haven't gone to a body shop yet just because we've been trying to work with their insurance on trying to cover it.
What does their insurance say?
Their insurance has not contacted me at all. They keep telling me they're putting in a claim, but nobody's contacted me about anything.
Tricia, I would handle this by getting an estimate, and if it's under $7,500, I would take the Car Toys to small claims court. As soon as you file that, they have to submit it to their insurance, and they won't ignore you. I don't see now they claim they have videotape and they've never opened the hood of your car, right?
That's correct.
And they said the only way you get the videotape is if there's a case. So if you file a case in small claims court, you can subpoena that tape. But that tape has to be, I don't know, like they have a static cam on that car that shows the hood was closed the whole time. I mean, that seems weird to me.
Saying they have, yeah, they're saying that they have security cameras in their garages, and they were looking at that.
Right. I understand what they're saying, but it seems to me there's too much of a coincidence. I mean, you've driven around in that car for a while and never had a problem. But what I still don't understand is why the safety latch did not catch it. Did you not have a safety latch on your car?
I don't know for sure. I'm like 99% sure it does, though, because I'm pretty sure every single car has a security latch.
Well, they're supposed to. So if it comes loose, you still have to reach your hand in there to open the hood.
Yeah, and that's what I have to do.
Well, I know, but so there still is a safety latch there?
Yeah, there is a safety latch. Now that you explain that to me, I do have to reach under the car and hit a latch to open it.
Okay. Okay, you pull a cord or something, or you pull an activator in the cockpit, or press a button that pops the hood. Then you go out and put your fingers in there and open it. Is that how you do it?
Exactly. That's exactly how I do it.
Okay. Right now, how closed does your hood get? Are you able to drive your car?
The only way I'm able to drive my car right now is because a cop actually came to the highway and tied it down with a rope, and I can't go over 40 or 50 miles an hour.
All right. I want you to, I don't know how we figure, who do we ask about installing a radio? Let's ask Kevin Calkin. They do electrical work. I want to ask one of our experts, can you install a radio? What did you have done? Did you have a new antenna put on it too, or just a radio?
just a radio. I'm only using it for Bluetooth.
And are you claiming that they had to do something? You said to get to the battery. What did you say in the beginning?
They have to open up the hood and disconnect the battery.
Why?
So that if they hit any wires, they're not going to electrocute themselves.
Yeah, well, okay. I don't know if they have to. Let's ask Kevin. Okay, hold on, Trish, and we'll come back to you. So, Kachina, I want you to call Kevin Calkin, just if he has a comment on this, since they do electrical work. They do electrical work at Sheridan Autotech. Steve, what is your issue with Wells Fargo, Steve?
Hello, Tom.
Hey.
Well, I bought a truck probably like 15 years ago, and it was financed through Wells Fargo. That's who they used at the time, local dealership. Over the period of about another 5 or 6 years, I kept getting these residual checks where they charged me for insurance, which wasn't necessary. They charged me the wrong interest rate, whatever. But it comes down to, I got a letter in the mail the other day, dated May 7th, stating that they had sent out a cashier's check in April of.
I'm a little confused here. I'm a little confused, so help me out.
Yeah.
Did you buy your truck new 15 years ago?
No, it was a used truck at the local Nissan or local Dodge dealer.
Okay, and when you bought it 15 years ago, how long was your loan?
I believe it was a 4-year loan. Again, I hardly remember.
I get it.
Remember very little about it.
So you bought a truck 15 years ago and took out a 4-year loan with Wells Fargo.
Yes.
And then
That's
what
who
happened?
the dealer financed me with.
Okay, got it. And then you paid it off. You paid it off,
I paid
and then
it off.
what? You should be done with them. Then what?
Well, that's right. But then I kept getting these checks in the mail.
Okay, but how long after?
Overcharged.
Hold on, Steve. After you paid off your truck, you paid off your truck roughly 10 years ago. So after you paid off your truck, when did you start receiving those checks?
I would say within 3 to 4 months. And again, the last one was issued on August 30th, 2021 was supposedly the one I'm, worried about.
And what were they called? Refund checks?
Well, there's little letters that we had miscalculated the interest. Was one of them, as I remember. They overcharged me interest for something because when I paid it off, I paid it off in full before the loan.
There was a class action lawsuit. Did they mention this was in payment of a class action lawsuit that you may have been part of?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I do remember one was for insurance because I had insurance on the vehicle, but they went ahead and charged me insurance anyway.
Okay, now what I want to know is this in general. How much were those checks, each one? Like, were they for $1,000 each, $2,000, $100?
No, I think the highest one was for $200 or $300 for the insurance. All the others were like $50, $35, $25.
Okay, got
just
it.
Very small amounts.
Okay, and now why are you concerned if first of all, you bought the truck, you paid it off. Why are you concerned that the check stopped?
Okay, no, I'm not concerned the check stopped. I received a letter on May 7th stating that on August 30th, 2021, I was issued a cashier's check for something. They doesn't say what it was for, and it was never been cashed.
Okay.
So I never got the check.
So, Steve, Wells Fargo called you and said you never cashed the check.
So actually, I got a letter from the unclaimed property department.
And are you positive it is from Wells Fargo, the letter?
Oh, absolutely. I spent an hour and a half at Wells Fargo yesterday trying to get this straightened out.
How much is the check for?
They agreed that the letter was for.
How much is it for?
It's actually only for $31.62. $31.62.
That's what we're chasing right now, $31.
Yes.
So this whole thing you're going through is to get a check for $31 cashed.
Well, I went to the bank. Did I explain something on this letter?
What was it for? Why did Wells Fargo, why did they issue this $31 check?
I have no idea. Again, that was issued 4 years ago.
I don't mean, I'm not making fun of you or anything, Steve, but how important is it that you get this $31?
Oh, it's not that important. It's just that I followed their rules. Okay, because I honestly thought, hey, I'll just go down, like the letter said, do what I need to do, and get it. And that's when it turned into this hour-and-a-half fiasco.
And all you want to know is, where did the check go?
No. If I can read you something on this letter,
go ahead, read
it might
it.
help cut through this and explain it.
Read
Okay.
it.
There's a thing that says what you need to do. What do I need to do? The one that says if you no longer have the cashier's check in your possession, bring this letter to your nearest Wells Fargo branch to place a stop payment on the item and claim the funds. So that's all I did. I just drove down to the bank and figured I'll give them this letter and they'll give me the funds and I'll be done. Well, now they're saying that they can't do what this letter says. They cannot issue the funds. Even though the letter says they can, they won't do it.
And what reason
What
reason do they give that they can't just give you the money?
They said that they're not allowed to, well, one of the things they said, they're not allowed to issue a cashier's check to anybody who does not have an account with them.
And what is the $31 for?
I have no idea. It's just, like I said, the check, again, I got these residual checks that were usually for maybe the class action. I don't know. I have no idea what this one was for because I never received it.
Let me ask you this. Again, I mean, I don't mind helping you a little here, but it's $31. If you just forgot about it, how would it change your life? If you just said, you know what, this is not worth
Probably
the
not
hassle.
at all.
Okay, it's just kind of
Probably
curious.
not at all.
Bo, did I hear you chiming in or somebody?
No, this is Dollar.
Yeah, Dollar,
Charles,
go ahead.
Have you tried checking? Oh, I'm sorry, Steve. Have you tried checking with the Great Colorado Payback?
Well, that was going to be my next thing, but apparently I have till June 21st to get this settled through Wells Fargo. Then they said it'll be transferred to the state known as escheatment.
Yeah,
if I pronounce that right.
That is correct.
Escheat funds.
So they're
In
not
fact,
going to do that till June. Yeah.
I think that would be easier to deal with. It's easier to deal with the escheat funds than it is the bank. Once it goes to the state treasurer as an unclaimed fund, you can do it all online. They're very easy to deal with.
Okay.
I would let it go to the escheat funds because here's what they're doing right now. They don't know where the check is, and they're going to stop payment on it.
Right.
But I don't know why they don't just do it for you. I really don't, Steve. Who knows what the hell?
And that's like I said. I tell them I hate to use the old cliche. It's the principle of the thing, but I followed their rules, their laws, their policy, whatever you want to call it, to the letter, and they're refusing to honor it.
Yeah,
so that's the big thing for me.
I would like, if you could you give us a copy of that letter that says, if you don't have it, take this letter to a nearby bank. Do you have that letter?
Yeah, I took it on my cell phone. But they're readable. So where do I want me to send it?
I'm going to put you on hold and tell you. And Deputy Dollar, I'd like you to call the bank and simply ask them, why won't they honor it? I mean, okay.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
It makes no sense at all. I mean, it's ridiculous. And this guy is running around for $31. Hold on, bro. I got to take a break. All right, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. You heard me talk about Fix It 24/7, and there's a reason. They're into preventive care. That's what they do. For $39, get your AC deep cleaned of debris and dirt, the #1 killer of ACs, and they'll make sure there's a no breakdown guarantee through the entire cooling season. Now, they dismantle this AC and clean each and every crack and crevice. That's Fix It 24/7. Now, you can also have a sump pump done for $49. So it's fixmyhome.com. Book now.
Thank you.
What's that?
The riveting podcast, What Happened to Talina Czar, unravels the chilling mystery surrounding a woman's disappearance during the COVID-19 lockdown, the internet sleuths who wouldn't let it go, and the dark subcultures and betrayals they unearthed.
There were a lot of secrets that were very hard to find.
Listen to What Happened to Talina Czar on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow What Happened to Talina Czar and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
You know, you also heard me talk with Fix It 24/7 about their emergency generator installation. They'll install in your home with qualified electricians an emergency generator backup, whether you want it for essential systems or the whole house. They can install this that automatically takes over with any power outage. If you're looking for an emergency generator backup for this season and beyond, go to fixmyhome.com, book now. Fixmyhome.com, book now. John Fuller is a personal injury expert. He talks to us on the phone all the time here on the radio show. When people have questions about their accidents, he'll talk to you directly. You don't have to wait to be on the radio show. John Fuller has pledged to give you information about your case, what it's worth, where to collect, how to collect, next steps, and what he would do to help you. There's no obligation, but if you decide to hire him, it's on a percentage fee basis, and he only collects if you collect. So why don't you give him a call at the first sign of trouble? Get your information, be armed with information. 303-597-4500, 597-4500. You know, Gravina's has been around for so long, I just take it for granted that you know about them. But if you don't, it's really cool. Larry started out with his dad, I think, in the 60s and 70s, went off on his own in the 80s. His son, Nick, joined him, and this is a Gravina tradition. And you can join in that tradition by using them for window siding and doors. And they never push just one product like many companies do. They have 50 lines of windows, multiple lines of siding, and doors, and you will love the way they do business. They have great prices, great heritage, great follow-up on warranties. A company I know and trust, you can too. 303-GRAVINA, 303-GRAVINA, or gravinas.com.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm shooting the hell out of this. So, right here.
Business or residential, get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price. You don't think of paint as an investment, but when you don't have to worry about
What's that?
your billing for 25 years, to me,
No, I'm not. I don't want to eat it over the air. I know, I will. I'm just drinking. It feels good. Good. I'm a little achy. I'm going to have to go to the, let's go to the pharmacy. I'll show you my little.
What I really appreciate is your folks' commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250. The keyword Micro. Your Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something. For plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, think Plum Line Services with quality brands like Carrier, not to mention Plum Crazy Valley. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. I use Plum Line in my home. Service professionals, 25 years strong, on a mission of excellence, character, and ethics. Castle Rock to Fort Collins since 1998. Plum Line and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Moe's. I've been remiss.
You ever try to find a real estate agent and end up with your neighbor's dog walker's cousin? Yeah, don't do that. Call Ashley Key with Live Sotheby's International Realty. Ashley listens to this show and partners her business with Jeffco Kids First, so you know she shares your good taste.
You go pee now.
She offers premier buyer and listing services like expert photography, videos, and twilight shots. That's
Hi, honey.
Damn, I
have
I
1
can't
minute
get
before
this
we go
elastic
back
off
on.
my
What's going
skin
on?
To save my life. I can't get the elastic off. I scrub it with alcohol and alcohol, and it will not come off.
Gosh,
What?
I wish the image was clearer. Oh, my. So much luggage. I think I'm seeing that right.
This report is sponsored by Rocket.
Amazing. What? Ah.
What?
All right, here you go.
Day at Rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, what are we going to do? Kevin Calkin is with us, our auto expert at SheridanAutotech.com. Kevin, she had a radio, Tricia, installed at Car Toys. It's a new radio. I assume it was replacing one, right, Tricia?
That's correct, yes.
And she's driving home after installation, and her hood pops open on the highway within 15 minutes. That sounds like too much of a coincidence. But they tell her, Tricia, we never opened your hood or touched your hood to install the radio. And I'd like to know from you, would that be normal?
No, because typically you're going to access the battery or some sort of a power source or fuses or something underneath the hood, depending on the car. But yeah, no, I disagree. I think they definitely had the hood open. Yes.
Uh-huh. So, Tricia, he's on your side. That's going to be good. That's going to be good for small claims court. If you go to small claims court, you're going to have to make the case that they had the hood open. They never closed it. You never had a problem with your hood before. But I mean, that's all you can do. And they're going to deny it. And they say they have videotape. Kevin, they say they have tape of it closed the whole time.
Okay.
Do they just...
Well, I'd like to know what power source they used. They had to apply power from somewhere.
Can't they tap
Unless
into
they
the
just spliced
existing...
into the-
Okay, if there's a fuse panel
It's
in the
possible.
cabin,
Yeah.
can't they access the fuse panel without going to the battery?
Yeah, most of the fuse panels are under the hood anymore, though.
What year is this car, Trish?
It's a 2002.
Oof, it may not be. Yeah, it's an older one.
So it might be in the... What? You know what? Can you drive your car, Trish?
I can, but I cannot take highways or any, roads that go over 50 miles an hour.
What part of town are you in?
I'm in Edgewater by Sloan's Lake, but I actually work in Littleton.
Okay. I wonder if you could drive by one day to Sheridan Autotech and simply have them eyeball it, and they can tell in a heartbeat whether or not they had to open the hood.
Sure.
They can tell by looking at it. It will only take a few minutes. So I'll have Kachina hook you up with Sheridan Autotech for a quick free inspection. And that's SheridanAutotech.com, 303-455-7242. I think that's the best thing we can do at this point. You know, Kevin, do people disconnect batteries when they work on electrical or not anymore?
A lot. You should. I mean, you should when you're doing that because you can have voltage spikes of all kinds when you have wires accessed and everything else. So that's the first thing we do is disconnect the battery.
Really? And do you disconnect the negative or the positive?
Oh, either one, whichever's easiest. Typically the negative.
Okay.
You know, just so we don't complete a circuit. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
Trish,
That's the safe way to do it.
He's on Colfax, west of Wadsworth. And you'll find it easily if you go to SheridanAutotech.com. Thank you, Kevin. I think more and more people, I mean, first of all, it's very easy. You're working under the hood, you close it, it doesn't really latch. And then those safety latches are supposed to hold it. But if you get highway winds underneath that, there's a possibility you're going to blow it open, right, Kev?
Sure, absolutely. And things happen. I mean, people make mistakes. It's not uncommon and not unheard of. So, yeah, absolutely.
But they were quick to say they had a videotape. I'd love to see it. I had, yeah. So thanks, Kev. Let's do that first, Trish, before we do anything else. Let's let Kevin take a look at it, see what he says, and then we'll contact Car Toys for you before you go to small claims court. I think you're going to win, though. As I said, there's no such thing as coincidences. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have open lines. You can call about any problem, question, or complaint. And Renew Home Innovations is here to put in walk-in showers with sheet porcelain. The reason I mention that, they can do other solid surfaces, but sheet porcelain is the most beautiful product. And what I love about it is they can do it in 2 or 3 days. You have a beautiful, customized walk-in shower, perimeter drains, no shower doors, benches, grab bars, everything you need. And you have years to pay on certain repayment options. RenewHomeInnovations.com, 303-904-2000.
Very nice.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6:30 KHOW Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Woodley's Fine Furniture.
Yeah, we had some rock scaling at the bottom of Floyd Hill, I-70 both east and westbound. Had a temporary closure, enough that it did back up out of Idaho Springs and coming down Floyd Hill there at US 6. They have reopened, but slight delays continue. 270 continues to run a little heavy as you're heading west up to Vasquez. I-70 west approaching Colorado over towards Brighton. A little slow, left over from an earlier crash. And I-25 coming north off the Broadway Bridge, pushing up towards Colfax into downtown. Just a little bit of traffic. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Woodley's Fine Furniture, specializing in handcrafted Colorado-made furniture, custom upholstery, solid wood, and the most comfortable leather furniture imaginable. You will not find better built furniture in Colorado than at Woodley's. Visit woodleys.com today.
You know, as you're getting ready for retirement, you have a bunch of questions about your 401ks, your Roths, your regular IRAs, what to do with them. Do you cash them in? Do you let them grow? Do you take the tax and put it in something else? What about minimum required distributions? What about all that? Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies can help you plan your retirement in a way that can help you maximize your income and maximize your savings. If you ever doubt what they can do, simply call them and ask them about their plan for you. They'll be transparent. They'll go over your entire portfolio and talk to you about it with no obligation. And then they set up certain avenues for you to follow, including passing on your business to a loved one or maybe selling it. Everything to do with retirement, rpcenter.com, rpcenter.com, 970-663-3211, 663-3211. American Financing is partnering with me to help you get a smart equity loan if you have high interest debt. You see, if you have high interest debt and you're paying 14 to 24%, some people pay higher, on credit card debt, you're losing that interest every single month. It does nothing for wealth building. It doesn't pay down the credit cards. It is static debt that will keep you poor. If you get a home smart equity loan to pay off that portion of your bills, then you'll get it down to about 5, 6, even 7% is better than the credit card rate. And then you can pay that section of that loan quicker. You have room to grow, you have breathing room, and it will give you instant good credit. So why don't you find out about the smart equity loan and get rid of high interest debt and then be on the road to financial success? AmericanFinancing.net. They're standing by to answer your questions. 303-695-2525. 7000. 303-695-7000.
Thank you.
Yep.
Real barn burner today.
It's been interesting
Hell
for
of
the
a
first
thing.
couple hours.
Yep.
We'll get another wave.
Just like communists.
Yep.
Coming in. Always expect another wave. I don't even know what that means. Yeah.
I wonder what happened if... Let's see. Do you think Comey really meant to threaten the president?
Either that or he is a 9-year-old mentally.
Yep.
There's either something seriously wrong in his head or he knew he was being some measure of a psycho.
Don't you think he's a narcissist who just wants attention?
Oh, yeah, well, and at 6'5", it's easier than most people to have everybody look at you, but all right. Yeah, there's something actually wrong with that dude.
He needs several years of therapy.
I mean, for him to float that Steele dossier like a grade school girl.
Yep.
And what did it turn out to be? Nothing.
No.
Right. Yeah, at the time.
It turned out to actually change an election. What are you talking about?
You mean future election?
No.
What did it change?
It didn't have an impact on the election at the time. Steele dossier didn't do anything at the time.
Oh, it did.
Like what?
Which one?
2020?
Like what?
Oh, it didn't have as much to do with 2020 as COVID did, and
Oh, okay. I forgot. Let's Hunter laptop.
yeah, that was more important than the Steele dossier by 2020. They were trying to get him impeached or to resign with the Steele dossier.
Yeah.
That's why if anybody says election denier, I go, do you mean 2016? You twat. No offense. But the Russians got him. Oh, shut up. 'Oh my gosh, we're coming back.
795-5900 or go to championsofthepeople.com. We'll help.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Hey, Steve is with us, Steve Moss. He's the one that wrote our theme song. He also writes a lot of jingles around town. He's in the media business. He also has a brewery. He's a microbrewer, I think they call it, where, small batches. And his beer is getting very popular. Steve, at what point do you no longer become a microbrewer? What do you have to produce to be a regular brewer?
That's, I think, just a common term. Microbrewery actually refers to when you just distribute. A brew pub would be more of where somebody comes there and tries your beer, and they have a tasting room. We have a tasting license, so ours is in a beer garden. You're not allowed to go in the building, but you can see the brewery. It's not compliant yet, but it's really, really nice. Actually, it's turning out super good. This will be our 4th weekend coming up, and we're doing beer, bags, and barbecue.
Beer what? Beer
go to
bags?
rockandroll.beer. It's beer, bags, and barbecue cornhole tournament.
Oh, okay.
So it's really going to be fun. I'm giving away, you're not going to believe what I'm giving away.
What?
Because I want to get people to come here. We've been having return customers. It's a cornhole tournament, and it's going to be just fun. It's not like, serious where people are coming here. But you can win $500 if we sell out. We'll have enough prize money for the first place to be $500, and third place would be $100. Second place would be $200. But I'm going to offer something for your audience only.
Yeah.
If they,
register for this on rockandroll.beer and go to register for the $75, but you get for $75, you get admission to the tournament, you get Famous Dave's catered barbecue, a complete meal, not just a sandwich, and you get a VIP NASCAR ticket to Colorado National Speedway. Plus, you get a free beer. And with your audience, if the next 5 people that register, I will also give them a Rock and Roll Brewery hat. Really nice embroidered hat with our logo on the hat.
Now, what is a beer for those of us
sometime, before the tournament?
For those of us that are not hip, what is a beer garden?
It's really, really nice. We have seating for everyone, really nice umbrellas. When it gets dark, we have, lighting for it and everything. But it's really a nice area. We have cornhole games, obviously. We have, other games that, you can play. And, it's just a really nice, enclosed, privacy fence. In a brewery situation, we have Harleys on display. It's really cool. You have to kind of come here to see how cool it is with 16 beers, craft beers to choose from. That's unheard of for a small brewery. We're only a 7-barrel brewery. We have 16 beers, anything from blacks to stout, chocolate stout, to, lagers, pilsners, flavored beers like mango beer, lemon wheat, blood orange. We have some with plum in it. We have, it's nothing but good reviews.
All right.
When people come here, they come back.
How do people find out more?
Rockandroll.beer, not .com. Rockandroll.beer. Go to the appointment page, and you can make an appointment at Beer Garden. You don't have to make an appointment, but it's wise to do that. We have a limited space. But to join the tournament, just go to the appointment page, or actually the home page. It'll point you right to joining. And $75 gets you about $75 worth of stuff, plus you have a fun day of cornhole, and you can win some money.
Hey, didn't Mark and Suzanne drop in on your garden?
Yeah, Mark?
Yeah, didn't they? I thought he did a YouTube video from there.
Yes, he did. They went there and they tried, some different various. They love them, and they go to a lot of breweries. But I'm going to tell you, I have people coming here from brewing associations from very far away in Colorado, across the, in Grand Junction, Colorado Springs, Pueblo, way up north. And, they get wind of this, and they always want to try a different brewery, and it's nothing but good reviews.
Now,
I've been doing this since 1985.
Steve, do they have national contests where you can enter your beers?
They do, and I just don't get into that anymore. The only thing I care about is what my customers like. That's what I like. I used to do that stuff. I do have many awards dating back to the 80s and 90s. I'm written up in Michael Jackson's book, touring the United States. He's a beer expert from England. And, so I have a pretty good history here.
All right. Steve Moss, rockandroll.beer. He's also a pretty fun composer. People have heard his jingles, and they're all over the radio and TV stations. So, Steve, we really appreciate it. And I'm going to drop in one day, and I want to make that a literally drop in when I can. I'm going to get back on my feet health-wise.
I have room for your helicopter.
Good. Because I'm going to get back on my feet.
I do have room for the helicopter.
I got to earn my medical back after this hellacious surgery, and I will absolutely drop in. So thank you very much, Steve. Appreciate it. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Think of some flavors you'd like to see. He's got all kinds of weird flavors. I wonder if he's ever done watermelon beer. Hey, Steve, have you ever done a watermelon base? Oh, did he hang up? Did he leave? If he did, I'm wondering, what's the weirdest beer you ever tasted? Give me a call on that. Flavored beers are getting very, very popular. And he does that blood orange. He does a lot of really interesting flavors. I'm wondering if anyone's ever done a cannabis beer. Do you know if they have? We should get Steve back on the horn. I want to take a break. I need to ask him about some weird flavors, really. I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Yep.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by YRefi.com.
Yeah, we had some rock scaling at the bottom of Floyd Hill. I-70 both east and westbound had a temporary closure, enough that it did back up out of Idaho Springs and coming down Floyd Hill there at US 6. They have reopened, but slight delays continue. 270 continues to run a little heavy as you're heading west up through Vasquez. I-70 west approaching Colorado over towards Brighton. A little slow, left over from an earlier crash. And I-25 coming north off the Broadway Bridge, pushing up towards Colfax into downtown. Just a little bit of traffic. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Is private student loan debt ruining your life? It doesn't have to. YRefi refinances private student loans that others won't touch, and they don't care what your credit score is. Just go to YRefi.com. That's YREFY.com.
Do you feel a burning, tingling, or numbing sensation in your... You've grown used to it, but Dr. Anderson, D.C. from Front Range Medical Center wants to tell you why you need to get it treated. Doctor, what is peripheral neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and lower legs. Its major symptoms are numbness, burning, shooting pain, and balance issues.
Can it be treated?
It absolutely can in most situations with great results. More importantly, leaving it untreated can lead to serious complications.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your hands or feet, or balance issues, call Front Range Medical Center for a nerve damage screening. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening, which includes consultation and evaluation, valued at $245. Call Front Range Medical Center at 720-823.
10 away, here you go.
That's 720-823-0784 for your free nerve damage screening. Find out more at denverneuropathy.com.
I can't say enough about Zero Res carpet cleaning. And in Denver, it's zeroresdenver.com. You know, to have a carpet cleaner that comes in and uses just purified water, that's really what it is, super soft purified water. So really, it's what we call an empty water. It doesn't have minerals and hardness, so it can absorb everything out of your carpet, including residue from old cleanings and the dirt, the germs, the pathogens, the allergens. And you have clean carpets right down to the fibers with no residue. Your carpets look clean and feel clean. They can do upholstery, mattresses, tile and grout, laminate surfaces, hardwoods. Have it done and you'll know the difference. Zero Res Denver, Zero Resified, I call it. Everything looks new and feels new and is new, and your indoor air quality is better for it. I love these people, the only people I have in my home for cleaning. 303-471-5150, zeroresdenver.com. You know, I'm going to talk about a couple vehicles for investment. One is if you're starting out and you're wondering, what can I do for a few $100 a month that'll be safe and secure? Overfunding life insurance is really a real deal. Now, becomethebanker.org helps you get started there. If you get a life insurance policy and then you set up a system with Joe Chiano and his team to overfund the premium, the extra money goes into a cash account that grows tax-free, and it becomes income later on in life. Find out more. becomethebanker.org. 303-779-6600. The other investment I love is where you become a landlord without the hassles. Vestera Turnkey, the name says it all. Vestera Turnkey. They help you get into a home in a remote market somewhere where the equity potential is better than here. I mean, don't buy here in Colorado. Then he helps you find the home, buy the home, and sell the home, and in between, manage the rental to give you extraordinary returns. Vestera Turnkey. Go to mybiggestreturn.com to find out more. And I'm getting involved in it as well with people who want to use retirement money. We're doing that through my investment company. If you're interested in it, that is Again, mybiggestreturn.com, and give them a call if you have any questions whatsoever. Vestera Turnkey, 303-888-3788.
Man, I am happy.
You.
So if you have a house, Troy might have that perfect buyer for you right now. Give him a call, 720-900-4433. Let me give you a story. Just last week, Troy listed a house that was on the market for almost a month. You know what? Troy sold it for full price in less than a week. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy will buy your house for all cash, and it can close in as little as 7 days. Call Troy and get your home sold for the most money. 720-900-4433. Again, that's 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford with RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions apply.
Criminal defense, DUI, or other charges. Free initial consultations. Flat rate price. Joseph A. Lazara, 303-429-6200. LazaraLegal.com, LAZZARA. Joe Lazara, 303-429-6200. Being everywhere means AT that keeps you connected, keeping you safe with weather and back alerts, and updating you with the latest traffic information. Start your day with trusted journalists on 9 News Breakfast, 9 News and 9 News Plus. Weekdays starting at 4:30 and extended coverage until 10 on 9 News Plus.
iHeart Radio's got you covered for the summer. Sail on with commercial-free weekends on Yacht Rock Radio. Roll down the windows for road trips with summer playlists like Summer Classics. Or just escape into a podcast. Your summer soundtrack is already in your pocket with the free iHeart Radio app. Find your next summer preset now.
Here you go.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. There was a very interesting survey on who's buying American. Has there been a move to buy more American with the tariff talks? And there's definitely been some shifting buying patterns. And they do it for a number of reasons, okay? Supporting American jobs is one reason. Strengthening the U.S. economy is another one. Higher product quality. And other people who do it just because. Some people do it for national security, and other people do it for the environmental benefits. Now, what I find interesting is to support American jobs, who do you think the number one demographic is? Republican, Democrat, or Independent? Who do you think? The number one segment, Democrats, for supporting American jobs, 44%. Independents are second at 40%. And conservatives, with all of their talk about concerning American jobs, only 35% support, buy American to support American jobs. Now, strengthening the U.S. economy, a bunch of Republicans lead the way, whereas Democrats use that as one of their least reasons for buying American. Who believes we have higher product quality? Who believes it in America? Hardly anyone. Not Democrats, not conservatives or Republicans, and not independents. So really, on that kind of stuff, we have agreement. Almost everyone agrees that there's not higher product quality in America. It's the same, it's okay, but it's not higher quality. I can probably see that. I don't think it's lower quality, but what about this? What about the people who don't think there's a benefit at all? They don't think there's a benefit. Well, they're pretty even. Democrats and independents, a very small percentage feel there's no benefit. And Republicans believe there's strongly a benefit for our country to buy Americans. And then for national security, Republicans lead the way. They buy American believing it'll help national security. Democrats are the smallest segment there. And what about environmental benefits? A very small amount of Democrats, Republicans, and independents bother buying American for environmental benefits. They're not doing it for that. They're mostly doing it for supporting American jobs and strengthening the economy.
Frank Duran, the real estate.
Very nice.
Portions of the following program will be recorded.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on the free iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The fourth inmate who escaped from a New Orleans jail Friday was captured Monday. 10 in all broke out of that jail. 3 are also in custody, and authorities have also arrested a maintenance worker at the jail, accused of allegedly shutting off the water to the toilet to help the inmates escape. ABC's Faith Abube is in New Orleans.
Now, according to investigators right now, what they're saying is during that internal investigation over the last several days, they interviewed all the employees, and Sterling Williams allegedly told them that the inmates on Friday asked him to turn off the water to the toilet, which they moved out of the way and crawled through a hole behind it.
3 U.S. officials confirming President Trump will announce the initial plans for the Golden Dome missile defense plan at the White House today. That system will help defend against ICBMs and hypersonic capabilities. Mortgage rates on the rise again. The average rate for a 30-year home loan topping 7%.
Oh.
ABC News. Parts of the South and Midwest already trying to clean up from this week's storms are in the crosshairs again today with severe weather. Powerful winds, hail, and tornadoes once again the threat. Meantime, in St. Louis, residents are demanding answers after the city stores.
Yeah, I texted Mark. I was like, your boy's dying. When you coming back? He's out goofing around with his dad. The time is coming very soon. Yeah, people don't like listening to sick people.
That's funny.
And yeah, you're right. How about that talkback?
I know. You've been saying that for years. Just learn how to freaking read.
And that he's trying to use some insider, well, sort of, copy.
Right, yeah. I think I'm not going to say it enough.
Well, there's been, a couple of sentences where only 2 words were legible out of Marty. I will give him credit that he does a couple of things okay, but not all the important stuff.
Yeah, what are those things that he does okay?
He does the Sunday morning thing, the Sunday morning talk show thing, fairly well. In that he asks, even though it may be a rambling question, he does ask an okay leading activist posing as a journalist question, which there is an art to, and I think he does it quite well. Still wish that he'd just be kicked in the throat by a donkey. I think that fixed my problem.
It's been a weird morning.
Apparently.
Yep.
For a national Western Center expansion. Community leader Alfonso Espino
Thank you.
We could possibly negotiate some more. I just don't care for the noise. Or some more.
I don't care for any of it.
These 2 weeks, but several council members voted against postponing, saying a delay would not fix the community
I don't
investment
feel
fund.
cooler or hotter with or
Project was
without
raised
it.
from a ballot measure, and there are restrictions on
It
how
bugs me.
can be spent.
Yeah, it's amazing how that, happens. Good afternoon, Tom Martino Show. Hello, Joe. I'm doing well. How are you? I've got you on. We're going to get you on at the 12:15 break, okay? Huh? The thing about it is, between him and Ryan, it doesn't change the temperature in here. It's just annoying as fuck. But I digress.
Anywhere between Broadway and I-70 is a little sluggish. Eastbound 6th Avenue, the ramp, southbound 25 is going to back up. That'll take a few extra minutes on the merge, although I-25 is wide open heading down to the tech center. With traffic, I've got it, Steele.
It just makes it colder.
Has in common with way too many pictures of your dog? Well, they're both private. Because on WhatsApp, your personal messages are yours.
Department
No one else can
drops
see or
charges?
hear them. Not even us. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone.
What?
They dropped the charges.
Of whom?
The ice lady, the protest chick.
Oh, Pam Bondi did that?
Oh no, it just says DOJ. Oh, now they changed it. Oh, now it says charges. Choose your wording better, Fox News. I mean, they're saying drops charges as in they are giving charges. Oh, they changed it just a second ago.
Adventure's first stop. Is your furnace or air more than 10 years old and you're dreading the inevitable replacement? Plumline Services is offering up to $9,000 in credits and rebates on select heat pump models. The new heat pumps, more efficient than ever. Let Plumline and Carrier show you the way. From Castle Rock to Fort Collins, service at home, servants at heart, 25 years strong. PlumlineServices.com. Plumline and Carrier, turn to the experts. PlumlineServices.com. May is Mental Health Month. With looming cuts to Medicaid and other funding, many providers are struggling to provide care. Show your support with a donation to the nonprofit Aurora Mental Health and Recovery. Visit auroramhr.org to donate. That's auroramhr.org. A wave of new wealth awaits you with honest answers on how to make real estate investments the smart way, fully managed, safe and secure. Find out more on the Vestera Turnkey Show, Saturday mornings at 8 on Talk Radio 630 KHOW. Need a new roof? Call Excel Roofing, 303-761-6400. Denver's Talk Station has your chance to win
$1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Fun. That's fun. Enter it now at khow.com. Keep listening to win on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. I'll come running just as fast as I can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. This is the Troubleshooter Show. Thank you for being here, solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, and making your life a little easier. That's what we do here. And we'll continue to do so. All you have to do is give us a call, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. I have some interesting text messages people are talking about, and they want to know about buying American. They say that they see nothing cheaper about buying American and nothing to incentivize them, and they go by the individual product, not by where it's purchased. They don't use their dollars to vote politically when it comes to that. Some people go so far as to seek out American goods, but very few of them do. Very few people actually seek out American goods. So what do? Do you buy American on purpose? Do you go out? If you had two products side by side, would you pick the one made in America? Is that a motivation to you? Because in recent surveys, there's been a study on what people do and how they buy and why they buy. And much of it has to do with the reason behind it. For example, buying American is hardly ever done. According to this survey, people do not buy American for environmental benefits. They don't. Now, that doesn't mean there are no benefits. That doesn't mean that. It just means when people go to buy American, what is their biggest motivation? It's supporting American jobs. That's the number one reason people buy American. The second reason people buy American is to strengthen the U.S. economy. And when we say buy American, we're talking about things assembled, final assembly in America, or made in whole in America. The other reason is higher product quality. So the top three reasons people buy: supporting American jobs, strengthening the U.S. economy, or higher product quality. The last reason people buy American is for the environmental impact. And national security is pretty low as well. No one believes that you have national security improvement simply for buying American. Again, it's up to you what you buy and how you buy. But I'm all for people buying the best product. And I don't necessarily track with those who blindly buy American. But again, that's up to you. I have some texts that say that they find foreign-made goods all the time of better quality. I would say that that's not true. I have seen many, many products come and go, and man, Chinese products suck. If it's made in China, there's a really good chance it sucks. And I'm telling you, I tried to give Chinese-made products a chance. One time years ago, God, did this put a bad taste in my mouth. I was at the stock show, the National Western Stock Show, looking at tractors, small to medium tractors, not large. They were pretty large, but not like the big farms and ranches. We had a small horse operation. And I'm looking at, John Deere, they're wonderful, Ford, Kubota, different kinds of tractors. And Massey Ferguson was just starting to a resurgence again. And then I saw this Chinese tractor. I don't even remember the damn name, but it looked nice and it was way less expensive. So I bought it. It was the worst purchase I think I have ever made. The worst purchase. You couldn't get parts for it. It broke down. It wasn't heavy duty enough. But man, did it give a good impression for pricing. And again, if you go by pricing alone, you might get stung. But I personally avoid Chinese products. And I really do. I will not buy a product from China. Now, I shouldn't say that. I mean, there might be some plastic goods or certain things I buy that might have been made in China. I'm talking about anything technical or anything mechanical. I do not buy Chinese. There's just, in my opinion, their inherent weaknesses. Somebody says here, I buy made in USA as often as possible, but our quality has taken a dive. After 45 years of driving American Ford, I'm in the process of purchasing a Toyota because of the exceptional quality. Now, Japanese cars, I will have to agree, they have superior quality. A lot of those Japanese Toyota cars, though, are made in America, depending on the vehicle. Somebody else says, Tom, what about technology? I think Americans have the best technology. That's my own opinion. Now, I have purchased foreign-made goods probably through American technology companies. But when it comes to technology, I think American products are the best, or American companies, I should say. One thing that this texter says they're frustrated with is they wish they could have American customer support. A lot of customer support is offshored. Now, I'll tell you, I get very, very, very frustrated with customer support. And I'm going to admit this. I have an automatic, an automatic prejudice when I hear someone who's speaking in broken English or an accent for customer service, and I have a complicated issue. Because, I never call customer support for minor issues. So it's always something weird, always. And to try to explain it to someone that doesn't speak English gives me, I'm not saying this is true. I'm saying it gives me a feeling they're not understanding it. So I try to break it down very, very basically and very easy. And then that gives them the impression, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I've had conversations that are really almost comical with people on the other end of the phone who don't, you just can swear to God they don't understand you. And I don't think I've ever had a problem solved by a foreigner in a call center. So I don't mind people. Obviously, I want everyone to work, but there is just this language barrier that the worst place you can have them is in a call center for technical information. I mean, it's hard enough explaining a problem to someone who understands you, let alone trying to explain it to someone who has trouble with the language to begin with. This I always wondered about. Yes.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
I have two companies I can tell you about that I recently bought some stuff from.
Yeah.
One is Allegiance. We bought an American flag, which is made in America.
Okay.
Not made overseas.
Okay.
And the other one is WeatherTech.
Oh, yeah.
Which outfit the, your car, the stuff that you,
It's your floor mats and cargo mats and
floor
stuff.
mats and the stuff in your trunk. They do all of that. Great company, both of which are made in the USA completely, and I was fine with it.
Oh,
the pricing was great, and the customer service was great. And I know what you're talking about outsourcing, but these companies, there are some that still are around.
Yeah,
that will
there
take
are.
care of you.
There are. And I know that, for example, when it comes to appliances, that's a mixed bag. There are some appliances made here. There are some headphones, electronic stuff. I'm looking up some stuff here. But we have, over the years, relegated a lot of our manufacturing to overseas. And that's what Trump's been trying to reverse, he's been trying to light a fire here in America with tariffs. Some people don't think that's the right way to go about it. Others think it's fair. But everything, this is what's disheartening. I just looked on a survey here. Most everything we buy is made elsewhere. So even though we say we want to buy American, and Kelly, you've talked about some exceptions, most of the stuff available is not from America. If you go to Amazon, if you go to online to shop, most everything you're presented is not made in America. It's just not. So will companies start up and trying to compete? A lot of people say they can't compete because of the low labor. And you can't compete with people who are willing to work for a few dollars a day. And there's nothing we can do about that. You can't force foreign countries to pay their workers a fair wage. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Not everyone who handles your personal information is as careful as you are, which might explain why there's a victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the United States. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock will monitor hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. And if your identity's stolen, a U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com. LifeLock. For the threats you can't control, terms apply.
All right. I want to talk to Joseph Chiano, certified financial planner, about income during retirement. So, Joe, you stress income as you get older, and you stress getting out of the ups and downs of the stock market and trying to have guarantees. What is it that you believe people should do as they're approaching retirement?
Well, Tom, by the way, I'm glad that you're back, okay?
Thank you.
And secondly, I think it's really important for people to understand that when they're growing their account, like a 401k or an IRA, that is great. But when they get nearing retirement, they need to convert that account, that pool of money, into a guaranteed lifetime income. And unfortunately, those accounts don't offer guarantees. Our annuity offers a guaranteed lifetime income that people will never outlive. And by the way, Tom, most people fear running out of money during retirement more than death. Think about that. They fear more than death to be out of money during retirement. And our annuity solves that problem. I'm not saying that everybody should just go and take every single penny that they have away from the stock market, but they should have something guaranteed. They can take a portion of the 401k, a portion of the IRAs, a portion of their investment accounts, and put that into safety away from the volatility of the stock market and get some guarantees.
Hey, Joe, can I ask you something? Can I ask you something?
You bet.
Do withdrawals from an annuity count toward minimum required distributions that people have to take later in life?
Yes, they do. Actually, when somebody becomes 73, the government requires people to take a required minimum distribution. So if they're taking an income already from the annuity, my gosh, that qualifies, to make up for the required minimum distribution. Or if they take a withdrawal on a regular basis, it could make up the required minimum distribution. So anybody that invades their annuity into, an income stream, they don't have to take the RMDs.
Is there still a bonus when you open an annuity with you?
There's still a bonus. Right now, we're giving a 15% bonus day one. I'm not talking about 10 years from now. This is day one. The 15% bonus will go into their account day one, Tom. And this is really like making up for any losses that they could have had on the stock market.
And here's where you can find
right now the market is crazy.
And here's where you find out more with Joe and his entire team. MyMoneyMyWay.com. MyMoneyMyWay.com. 303-779-6600. That's 779-6600. Hey, you've heard me talk enough about Fix It 24/7, right? You would think I have stock in the company. Oh, I have belief in the company. And that means that you should get them to service your sump pump before there's trouble. Almost every home in Colorado has one. Maybe you don't even know where yours is. They can find it. But you want to have it serviced for $49 to make sure it's running, to keep your, to keep your basement and your house from flooding. They'll take out the pump, they'll clean it, tune it up, make sure it's running perfectly, or they can help you replace it. They also do Fix My Home extreme cleans of your AC to make sure that's up and running for the summer at its full capacity. That's fixmyhome.com. Book now. The Art of Granite's the only place I know that'll give a price on the phone because he loves his deals. He's proud of his deals. Mitch Floria and his team will give you a price. Call him. Now, the name is the Art of Granite, but they do any stone countertop or man-made material. And they quote you on the phone because tear out and haul away is always free. They give you wholesale on all materials. And they have a number of different options that they throw in, like a sink or the vanity in the bathroom when you do the kitchen, or backsplash or edge treatment. Call them now for your price and your incentive. 303-386-5919. 386-5919.
Good afternoon, Tom Martino Show. Chris? Oh, is this regarding the issue you have with custody of your son? Okay.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later.
Yeah, I can't go number 2 anymore.
So you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you, so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent
Okay, sir. You can tell Tom about all of this. So this is an issue with custody, correct? Okay. All right, and it's your son. Okay, Chris. Hang on for me, and Tom will be with you momentarily, okay? Uh-huh. Thanks, Joe. Really appreciate your time. Thanks, Joe. Whatever. You're out.
With the number 4 seed Minnesota Frost taking on the number 3 seed Ottawa Charge at Ottawa's TD Place, a 7 p.m. Eastern puck drop. The Frosts were also a 4 seed last year and won the league's inaugural title, while Ottawa makes the postseason for the first time this year. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcast.
Capital One is a founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports Network. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This hour from the Trajan Wealth K-House
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Let's talk. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Chris, you have a custody issue. What's going on with you, Chris? Welcome to the show.
Well, good. My custody issue is that my son has been taken out of my custody for I had a mental hold or check because I had a mental crisis. And I wanted to get back into therapy anyhow. They had considered me or made me a kind of a threat, and they took my they accosted me, detained me very poorly, and
Chris,
threw me into
let's
a
go
place
back
called
to the
Iraq.
beginning.
Yep.
Before this happened, were you divorced from the mom?
We were separated, yes, and she has not been involved with his life for 8 years, and I had put in a
But prior
discrepancy
to this
motion.
problem, I need to know this, Chris. Prior to this problem, where you had this mental health crisis, were you having shared custody with no issues?
Well, we have an APR agreement, and she had not followed through and had abandonment, or I abandoned him basically, and so I had full guardianship
Okay.
since then.
So how long, before this mental health issue, how long did you have sole custody?
Oh, pretty much since 2016, 17.
How old was he?
17. It was when my dad passed away.
How old was he then?
He was about 3.
And the mom abandoned him.
Yes. Told us both to leave the house in which I was paying for rent, and we had some issues. And so Daniel was in my hands, and she had told us to leave and never come back.
Okay.
So we did, and I had, yeah.
And when did you lose that custody?
And DHS felt as if to get involved and put temporary custody on him for.
And who did they give when they
reasons
took
that
custody away from you? Who did they give it to?
They gave it to the babysitters that I had him arranged to be at for a while.
Just a babysitter randomly?
No. It was his friend's house, like a trusted friend that he was staying at that weekend. And,
But wait a minute, Chris.
He wanted to play
Chris,
that weekend.
when they took away your custody due to the mental health crisis, when they did that, I need to know they granted it to somebody that you knew that was taking care of the boy with you?
Yes, like to his friend's house, like down the road.
Right. Is it a family member or some stranger?
No, pretty much some stranger we've only known about a year.
So some guy that you met a year ago, the courts granted custody of your child?
Yes, immediately they did for reasons thinking I was a threat, which I was not.
Well, I'm very concerned about this. This sounds ass backwards. They gave custody to a friend of yours. And what do they know about this friend? Or is this friend related to you in any
Nothing.
way?
No. Negative.
And who is it that granted custody to this person?
The Buena Vista Police Department.
Who?
Or it was the DHS that got involved.
Does this guy...
Because
how did you meet this guy? This guy that has custody now or guardianship? I don't think
not
it's
anymore. Now not anymore because they had split up. It was Hannah and Chad, which were kind of friends that we met a year ago. They moved here, and they were a couple that were taking care. She was taking care of her son. She's a single mom, and but was engaged. Or I don't know if they were engaged, but they had a good relationship. It seemed. And their son goes to the school that Daniel goes to.
I get it. Here's what I need to know now.
We were building a trust there.
Here's what I need to know now. Where is the boy now, and who has custody?
He's in custody with his friends, another friend from school, and their parents, which is
Did those parents
friends of the
Did
school.
those parents file for custody?
No. No, it's still under temporary custody or something.
Oh, it's like emergency custody, right?
Yeah, it's just been very frustrating. I'm trying to
Tell
figure
me
it all out.
what happened. I understand. With any mental health crisis, though, they always give the parents a path back. What did they say you had to do?
Well, I'm into therapy and stuff like that. And
can you
I
describe?
do testing.
Can you describe the mental health crisis? What happened?
Well, for instance, I had taken a chocolate bar, anyways, and I went into a deep depression, had a little psychosis, and I was kind of hallucinating bad thoughts, and I now have a number for like a mental crisis or a health crisis.
Okay,
line,
Chris,
which
did
I
you
should
have a
done, which I
diagnosis?
called
Chris, do you have a diagnosis?
Yes, I have a diagnosis with a little PTSD, depression, and ADHD.
Okay, are you on medication?
And a little anxiety now. They actually tried to put me on some of these weird psychotropics. They're phenobarbiturates. I don't take those anymore. They put me on atomoxephene. I don't take those anymore. It doesn't work. And then they want to put me on olanzapine, and I take clonidine for sleep sometimes because I'm somewhat of an insomniac.
And what did they say you have to do to get custody back?
Just follow their loops, and I've been treated like a criminal through this whole process, and not trusted with my son, which my son has been.
Did you have
well
to do
taken care
anything?
of.
Did you do anything with your son when you were going through this episode?
No, negative.
Okay.
No.
And do you get visitation with your son?
Yes.
Okay. What do you need from us?
I'm just curious as to what to go on because I feel like I was mistreated in some of it and being treated for, different diagnoses that they haven't diagnosed me with and gave me a plethora of medications, but also I'm stable and they want to give me a civil charge or whatnot for a negligent or dependency
It's
thing.
called,
And I think it's a completely
it's called
unfair and I'm not
dependency.
being
Hold on.
correctly represented.
It's called dependency and neglect. Are they charging you with that?
Yeah, they want to put a civil charge on that. It's civil, I guess, and I don't see the purpose of it because he was well taken care of and still has a good home and a loving father to be with, and I just kind of felt like I was duped into the situation for, I don't know, some reason.
It's important that we know.
Taking care of my son and been.
It's important that we know what they're trying to do. Are they trying to press charges?
I think so, and so the trial's coming up here pretty soon, and this has been going on since January 11th. And
If they have a trial coming up, they're not thinking about pressing charges. They already press charges.
Yes, I've been treated guilty until.
What did they charge you? What is your formal charge?
Neglect and dependency.
Okay. All right. And you need to get an attorney.
Which I've never neglected him. I've always made sure he's well
taken care of. You need to get an
of.
attorney.
And
Chris, you can't go there alone.
Yeah, because the attorneys that are appointed to me are not really representing me the way I wanted to be.
So you have an attorney appointed?
It seems kind of, yeah. And when I was in the hold, they gave me all sorts of medications that made me feel drowsy, woozy, and they took my phone so I couldn't have communications to get a hold of
but Chris,
the parties involved.
Chris,
and,
listen.
Yeah.
If you're charged with dependency and neglect, that could take away your custody forever.
I know.
You need to work with these attorneys appointed to you.
Right, and that's what I've been doing.
You have to, because if you try now to hire your own attorney, you can't afford one. And the attorney that's appointed to you, did he or she give you any information on what you need to do?
Yeah, I'm following through with therapy and doing all the classes I need to, and yes.
What do they think the outcome will be?
They've given me a plethora of
What do
things,
they think the outcome is going to be? What do they think the outcome is going to be?
I have no idea. I don't think like them. I don't know how to.
Okay, so when
Sometimes
you call,
I don't know what's going on because one of the attorneys.
When you called us,
I've been appointed. Yeah, because I was told it was a good idea.
Yeah, well,
I think that I was.
But from what I'm hearing, they've done everything properly. They put your son in emergency custody. They took him away from you because of this crisis you had. You admit you had a crisis. You're being charged with dependency and neglect. But if you have a diagnosis, that helps to diminish that dependency and neglect. Does your attorney say the charges will be dropped if you cooperate with them?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. Well, that's the road you should pursue.
The goal. And, yeah, and then, I put in abandonment a long time ago in Jeffco for, my son and his mom hasn't been a part of his life for 8 years.
Yeah, but that's not going to help you now. Proving abandonment against his mom has nothing to do with your case. Right now, you have to concentrate.
Okay, yeah.
You have to concentrate on fighting this dependency and neglect, and you need to lean on a diagnosis instead. You need to say, I was sick, I'm being treated, I want a path back to being a dad. That is, if you go in with that attitude, that's what's going to work. If you go in with an attitude that they didn't treat me properly, they gave me the wrong meds, they did this, they did that, you're not going to make it. It's not going to be right. You literally need to work with that attorney and tell that attorney that you don't want a dependency and neglect conviction. You want to cooperate with them. And then they will offer you some kind of a plea.
What exactly is adjudication?
Yep. It's a plea deal.
All right, you got to take a break, buddy.
I got to take this break. But Chris, really, I mean, you have the tools
Thank
in
you
your
so
hand
much,
right
Tom.
now. You got to ask them.
Okay.
You got to ask your attorney to get you a plea deal. I'm Tom Martino. More coming up.
This is Denver's talk station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis of Today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Yeah, it's still pretty quiet on the ride. We had a left lane stall southbound at Bellevue in the tech center. They've cleared that, but it did back up 225 from about Yosemite coming south. It's not a solid jam, but it is sluggish, making the curve through the tunnel and into the tech center. It's improving. C470 looks much better. They cleared an accident near Quebec going through Lone Tree. We still have some jamming on 270 west to Vasquez. I-25 south coming into downtown. It's been a little busy, but not much going on. US 6 west of Golden, Clear Creek Canyon delays with construction. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
You know, one of the questions that Vestera Turnkey gets, Barry Miller gets, is can I do these rentals? Can I be a landlord using my money from my 401k or my IRA? And the answer is yes, there is a way to do it. So contact them if you want to use your retirement account to buy a rental, to be a landlord through their system. Their system includes daily management of that rental for you and helping you buy the right one and sell it at the right time. All of this is built into their system. Check them out. You can use qualified money, it's called, or regular investment money, and I want you to give them a call. It's mybiggestrureturn.com. It's Vestera Turnkey, 303-888-3788. Gravina's has been around for a long time for a reason. They are the people who truly believe in windows, siding, doors, and more with variety. They have offered the biggest line of windows of any dealer anywhere, 50 lines. Also multiple lines of doors and windows, and not just windows, but siding too. So call Gravina's, have them give you a price. They've been around a long time. They define the word heritage. From the dad to Larry, who took over from his dad, to his son Nick, it is a family tradition. 303-GRAVINA, 303-GRAVINA, or gravinas.com. How much time?
4.
Thank you.
Yep.
Call Trajan today at 720-405-3300. That's 720-405-3300. Advisory services offered through Trajan Law Policy, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Do you feel a burning, tingling, or numbing sensation in your feet? You may have grown used to it, but Dr. Anderson, D.C. from Front Range Medical Center wants to tell you why you need to get it treated. Doctor, what is peripheral neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and lower legs. Its major symptoms are numbness, burning, shooting pain, and balance issues.
Can it be treated?
It absolutely can in most situations with great results. More importantly, leaving it untreated can lead to serious complications.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your hands or feet, or balance issues, call Front Range Medical Center for a nerve damage screening. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening, which includes consultation and evaluation, valued at $245. Call Front Range Medical Center at 720-823-0784. That's 720-823-0784 for your free nerve damage screening. Find out more at denverneuropathy.com.
You ever try to find a real estate agent and end up with your neighbor's dog walker's cousin? Yeah, don't do that. Call Ashley Key with Live Sotheby's International Realty. Ashley listens to this show and partners her business with Jeffco Kids First. So you know she shares your good taste and your values. She offers premier buyer and listing services like expert staging, pro photography, aerials, and twilight shots, backed by the global reach of the Live Sotheby's brand. And if you're not in her area, she knows someone who is. Visit KeyFrontRangeHomes.com.
Hey, Tom?
He asked how much time he had left, so he probably stepped away.
Wait, what?
He asked how much time was left.
Oh.
Chances are he stepped away.
Got it.
You can check YouTube, see if he was there, or will be there in 30 seconds.
No, I just need to know if I need to get Bonnie Shields.
Follow What Happened to Delina Czar and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today. Auto accident? Get the right lawyer on your side. Call Fuller.com.
First talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right. We got a lot more to talk about. I got some texts coming up I want to find. Tom, the reason I don't buy American is because things are not easily identified as to where they're made. How do you know? I mean, you really got to do some research to find things made in America. So that was one comment that I find, that's pretty accurate. You don't automatically know if something is made in America. I mean, there are some signs that say made in America a lot, but not all products. Do you know where things are made when you look at them? Do you know? And how do you know? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Here's a text. Tom, I'm starting a business, and you once mentioned there were 5 common mistakes people make. I thought I wrote them down. But let me explain this to you, because when you're starting a business, let me tell you the number one. The number one is before you even start, do a feasibility study. Before you even start. So I don't want to call this starting a business. I want to call this thinking about starting a business. Do a feasibility study in your head. First, you have to make sure that the end result, which is profit, is worth doing the business. If you want to make yourself a job, that's okay too. So when you start a business and you're a tradesman of some kind, just call it, whatever you do, and you have a widget. If you can make these widgets and pay for these widgets and then pay yourself a good salary, but there's no profit at the end, you have to ask yourself, can I find a job making the same amount of money with these widgets? Or do I have to do my own? If you can find another job, it never pays to do the widgets and to have a business. Not if you can find a job doing it. It never pays. Now, if your intent is to start out making a living, making the widgets, and eventually turn that into profit, and then you have not only your wage, but your profit, then it might be worth doing. Again, people a lot of times mistake wages for profits. Profits are above and beyond all operating costs. Part of your operating costs would be your salary. And when people start a business, they don't always take into consideration their own time. They take into consideration everything else, but not that they're going to be there 40 or 60 hours a week. If you can't pay for your time and have profit on top of that, it may not be a good endeavor. Now, so what does that mean? Pay for your time and have profit on top of it. Simply what it means. But you also have to pay for the product that you're selling or the service that you're doing. So please take into consideration time. The owner's time is worth money as a wage, not profit. Then profits on top of that. So if you're spending 30 hours in the business or 40 hours in the business and you're making a certain amount of money, that's not profit. That's your wage. Now, if you make more than a normal wage, that could go into profit. And you can take your profits as salary if you want to. But the point is this: you want both a job and profit. Or maybe you don't want a job. Maybe you just want the profit and you want other tradesmen to do the job. That's good too. You can just be an owner. You don't have to necessarily work the business. But when you calculate expenses, you have to calculate a number of categories. And the biggest thing that people neglect is competition. They don't realize that other people will be doing the same thing. So they have to allot a certain amount of money to marketing and to distinguishing themselves. And if you don't have that as part of your line items, then you're not getting an accurate picture, because that will eat into profits. And you cannot operate a business without marketing. It's simply impossible. So time and marketing are the two big things. And then profit. What will the profit be after you subtract your time? I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. 303-713-8255.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Through downtown, we've got a brand new crash, I-25 northbound in the right lane just before the exit to 6th Avenue. Cars moving carefully around this one. It's a two-car crash. Hopefully we're not seeing much in the way of slowdowns as folks navigate this one. South of there, I-25 southbound this time, a disabled vehicle in the shoulder at Bellevue Avenue. Slow traffic back from I-225. I'm Mark Swan with traffic.
Memorial Day deals are on at Lowe's. Get 2 select 1.5-gallon annuals hanging baskets for just $15. Lowe's, we help you save. Valid through 5/28. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Now, normally that name would say it all, but he does way more than just exteriors. He does inside your house mold detection and remediation. He also does bathrooms, kitchens, basements, and he has a painting crew. So Genesis is your complete construction company. And I know Mark very well. And in this time and day where we can't trust a lot of contractors, you can trust GenesisTotalExteriors.com. We've heard Joe Chiano on the line talking about annuities. Something else he does is life insurance that is purposely overfunded. Now, listen, this is truly an option for people to get started in investing. Or even if you have other accounts, this is something to diversify your portfolio. Get a life insurance policy. It doesn't have to be large. And then overfund that sucker. You actually pay more than the premium requires you to pay. But that money stays with you and it grows tax-free. And you can use it through your life to become a retirement account. Find out more here. BecomeTheBanker.org. It's a solid, conservative, but truly it works. BecomeTheBanker.org. You know, when you get in trouble and you need a criminal defense attorney, I'm not going to judge you. I'm just saying this. You really have to watch out that you don't go shopping when you're under a lot of pressure, because being under pressure is going to make you make silly decisions. I've done the shopping for you. Joe Lazzara is the guy you can trust. He does free initial consultations and then flat rate pricing. LazzaraLegal.com. Give him a call at the first sign of trouble for a free initial consultation, whether it be a traffic jam, an assault charge, DUI, whatever it is. You can trust Lazzara Legal, Lazzara. He's on referralist.com or call him here, 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200.
A friend.
How much time do I have now?
3.
Thanks.
It's not just about shiny rocks, precious metals, and meticulous craftsmanship from the world's very best.
It's really about you.
It's your life.
Not a lot.
It's about your moments and the ones that define you.
It's the birthdays, the anniversaries, the birth of a child. It's when you're on one knee asking the love of your life to spend forever together with you.
For 3 generations now here in Denver, you've trusted Williams Jewelers with the most important moments in your life.
That's what's precious to us.
And why we love what we do here at Williams Jewelers every day.
You see, our why is you.
Williams Jewelers of Englewood, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche. In Englewood at Broadway and Bellevue, and right now online at WilliamsDiamonds.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first. On your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Right now, we could all use some extra cash, so why not visit David Ellis Jewelry to cash in your old, useless, mangled jewelry, coin, and anything else with any precious metal. He'll even buy your fine jewelry and diamonds. Hello, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, and I recommend David Ellis Jewelry because I've known David for years. I trust him. You can too. 2640 East 3rd Avenue. That's 3rd and Pike. 303-322-8779. 322-8779. Regen Revolution has helped me so much in terms of getting mobile and active again, and now they'll be helping me and you at their new location near Old Town in Arvada. It's an expanded facility, so an even better version of the great care you've come to know from Regen Revolution. The combination of regenerative medicine and more traditional treatment modalities have gotten me back to being able to play sports and exercise in ways I thought I might never do again. Learn more at regenrev.com.
I'm back.
Woo! I live on a commercial salmon fishing boat in Alaska, and I genuinely think that was the first time I've ever felt myself kind of like flipping mentally. I think Alaska does weird things to people.
If you're interested in hearing anonymous callers like this tell stories from their lives, check out my podcast, Therapy Gecko. You can listen to Therapy Gecko on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Therapy Gecko and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Somebody once heard when you sold a car as is, they heard it on the show, that it doesn't mean you can sell anything you want. First of all, let me explain something. There is something called an implied warranty of merchantability. And it's really important we talk about this. We're running out of time, but I'm going to talk about it coming up because more and more people are getting in trouble buying things as is, but there's still an underlying warranty, even on things sold as is. And we'll talk about that coming up. Plus, get your calls in at 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
I can't go number 2 anymore.
All right, I'll be right back. I'll be right back, gentlemen.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to change this pants right now. I'm going to go up and change. I'm going to get rid of this bullshit once and for all.
Good stuff.
Good afternoon, Tom Martino Show. Hey, sir, may I stop you right there? Don't know if you're on a speakerphone or Bluetooth. I just can't understand you. You sound like you're through a tube. Yes. It's a little better, yes.
They're all weird when Kelly's involved.
Okay. Did you want to talk to Tom about something? Okay. What did you want to talk to Tom about?
The price of cheese.
Okay. Okay. I got it. That's all I need from you. Just need your first name. Jim? J-I-M? All right. Hang on for me. Tom will be right with you. What's up? I have ibuprofen. All right. Hang on. Oh.
Oh.
Distributed by Fresh Start Produce Sales are linked to at least 26 illnesses in 15 states. At least 9 people were sent to hospitals. Investigators traced last year's outbreak to untreated canal water. Symptoms of salmonella poisoning include diarrhea, fever, severe vomiting, dehydration, and stomach cramps.
ABC's Chuck Sievertson. New rules for battery charges on Southwest flights, and it comes after several fires occurred on board. Passengers can no longer store portable charging devices in their bags or
Crazy.
and Southwest flyers instead will be required to keep power banks out. Also, crews can easily intervene if a limited battery catches fire. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
It only takes a minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it at doihaveprediabetes.org. But you're probably not going to. Nope. I'm sure you've got a perfectly good excuse. Kids, work. I get it. You're busy. So what better time than now? Let's begin. Raise one finger if you're a man. Ladies, none yet. Oh, counting your head if you're driving. Now, 3 more fingers for everyone over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40, 1 more if you're not physically active, another finger if anyone in your family has type 2 diabetes, another if you've got high blood pressure. If you're overweight, raise another finger, 2 if you're very overweight, and 3 if you're really overweight. You've just taken the world's first audio pre-diabetes test. And if you're holding up 5 or more fingers, visit doihaveprediabetes.org or talk to your doctor. There's no excuse because pre-diabetes can be reversed.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
KHOW News Time, 103. Police are not anticipating charges against a homeowner who shot a suspect during an alleged home break-in in Aurora. Investigators say the homeowner reported a burglary at his home on Moline Street Sunday. The homeowner then installed cameras on the property and was alerted to another break-in early yesterday morning. Police say the owner and the suspect got into a fight that led to the shooting. The suspect was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. It will be warm and sunny this week along the Front Range.
Today, mostly sunny skies. It's going to be sunny, breezy, and temperatures in the low 70s. Overnight down to the low 40s, and then we warm up for Wednesday, mid-70s, upper 70s by Thursday. Friday's our warmest day in the mid-80s with some storms by the weekend.
That's Fox 31 meteorologist Kylie Burse. Michael Malone is taking on a new role after being fired by the Nuggets. ESPN has hired Malone to be an analyst and commentator during the network's broadcast of the Western Conference Finals between the Thunder and the Timberwolves. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by WhatsApp. Starting on the south end of town, we've got a stall on I-25 southbound at Bellevue, blocking the left shoulder. Slow traffic back from I-225. Only adding about 1 2 minutes to commute. They're clear into downtown, a crash on I-25 northbound just before 6th Avenue. Have been moved to the Gore Point. Not really affecting traffic. You may want to move slowly if you're taking the exit. Otherwise, calm traffic out town, I-70 east and westbound. Easy driving to and from DIA. With traffic, I'm Mark Mager.
On WhatsApp, your personal messages stay private. So things like those selfies from last weekend's party, stay between you and your bestie. Because on WhatsApp, your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even us. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone.
Keep listening for your chance to win $1,000. Oh my goodness. Every hour, weekdays, 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. With up to 9 chances a day to win a grand.
Thank you so much.
On Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
It's that easy.
Sponsored by Maverick.
It's time to stack your savings. Maverick wants you to get the most out of your Adventure Club offers, in-store deals, and third-party coupons. So our new checkout feature lets you combine them. Join the Adventure Club and head in today. Maverick, adventure's first stop. Our home is the cradle of our family. That's why I recommend Zero Red. Carpet style and better hardwood, laminate, stone, upholstery, rugs, and air ducts. No harmful chemicals. Get 3 rooms at $119 and pay $75 off duct cleaning. ZeroResDenver.com. 303-471-5150. 471-5150. Don't risk the chemicals and excessive water of those other guys. 303-471-5150.
Hey, yo, bro. Do you hear me?
Sir?
I am, I don't want to make belabor this or not, but I'm having a bout with severe pain right now. I'm going to get through this hour, but I just want you to know when I sound weird, why.
Okie dokie.
Okay, man.
Take a breath. You got it, buddy.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I was doing great. I've been easing into this, but I think sitting here might have done it.
Win on 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, Tom Martino here. How are you doing? What can we do to make your life easier? Let's just go to the phones and talk about it. I've been doing this 50 years, folks. I've probably heard almost every problem, but if you ever give me a problem I haven't heard, I promise you $100. I'm serious. I want to find out all kinds of problems. So if you ever have one I've never heard, call. I want to hear it. Now, let's go to the phones. And we have Jim who wants to talk about a debit card. Debit cards are pretty cool, actually. What's going on, Jim?
Hello, Tom.
Hey.
On Friday, I went up to Blackhawk to the casinos. I used my debit card in an ATM machine at the Saratoga.
Yeah.
Got $100, lost it, and left the casino. I got a thing on my phone. Not 5 minutes later, that someone had used my debit card, had my account number, my PIN number, and to the penny the amount of money I had in my bank account, trying to take it out. Luckily, my bank saw it as fraud, stopped it.
Oh,
I went
good.
back up Monday, talked to a Black Hawk cop, and he said it's been happening occasionally up there. Is the only way it can be happening is somebody had to have walked over and put one of those scanning devices on the ATM machine.
Or they could have spied.
Right after I had done it. I don't want to.
Oh, no, because they swiped it, didn't they?
I don't know how they got it. I don't know. I used my card. I took it back out. Nobody was around me. Nobody could have seen what I was putting in, but they got it. I mean, they took it out, tried to take it out to the penny. Luckily, my bank saw it as fraud and froze it
Man, your
instantly.
bank is great. What bank do you
But-
have, Jim? What bank do you have?
Chase Bank. It was Chase Bank.
Man.
It was Chase
So
Bank.
now, what is your question now, sir?
On Buckle Road. No, I'm just trying to put a warning to people. If they're using a machine up there, look for those devices. Because whoever was doing it obviously
And it's,
used
Jim,
it and
it's
pulled it
all
right back off.
machines.
Probably is one of them around Blackhawk.
It's all machines. It's not just that one. It's all machines.
Hey, Jim, did you call the casino back and notify them?
I called the casino. They called me back about 24 hours later and says, we'll go up and look. And they come back and said, oh, we don't see any device.
All right.
Well, of course not 24 hours later.
Hey, Jim.
So
Jim,
I'm
listen.
just let people be aware.
But you have to protect yourself. They have right now you got to do what I tell you no matter what your bank says, and I hope you trust me. Once they have your routing number and your account number, they're going to play havoc on you, and it could be in a month from now. But they don't need your card to make an ACH transfer out of your account. So they can do what's called a pull. And people don't understand this about the banking world. It's a deep, dark secret. But there are no protections for digital transactions when somebody goes in and does a pull. They don't need a gun or a knife to rob your bank. They just need the routing number and the account number. Right now, I have my online bank. I can go on there, initiate a pull to your account. I put in your routing number, your account number. It doesn't ask for your approval. It asks for nothing. I hit, and it will pull out the money. That's going to happen to you. They're not done with you. In fact, they've probably already sold your information. You have to stop it from happening in the future. Here's what your bank is going to tell
I went
you.
to the bank.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
What did your bank tell you? I'm interested.
Okay, I went to the bank. They got rid of the card, put a new card in. So they locked everything up on that account.
Jim,
Said,
it's not locked up.
I now have a
Jim,
card.
let me tell you another dirty secret. I don't know why banks are not just straight about it. Your bank's routing number stayed the same. They gave you a new account number. When someone puts through a draft on your old account number, it will automatically transfer to the new account number. And the reason it does that is because unless you have a major fraud investigation going on, it's going to automatically transfer. They don't tell you this. But what you really have to do, and I hate telling you this, but I swear to God, it is the only protection, is to close the account and to reopen the account at another bank. I know this sounds crazy, but I promise you, with what they do is they create what's called a recurring transaction, and they put it through on your old account. When somebody puts through a recurring transaction on a closed account, the bank assumes that you meant to pay that and it's recurring and it got caught in the middle. So they will transfer it over to the new account and honor it. Now, you can argue and get your money back, but it's going to happen all the time. They're going to hit that account. They have Autobots that hit that account a few times a month, and you might 2 years down the road get hit. So they never let it go. The only way to do it, the only way to protect yourself is to have a brand new account and at a brand new bank. If the routing number is the same, you're screwed. There's also something called a cross collateralization agreement. It says when you have an account at that bank and one account is overdrawn, they can go into your next account. So even though they know you've been defrauded, they don't keep track of your account on someone's desk. So when someone puts through an account that bounces, they go to any other account you have at that bank to settle it. And it's the worst news in the world because I swear to God I had to do this. Let me tell you what happened. Capital One, I had a credit card that was hacked. I changed the credit card. They killed the card. They sent me a new one. But let me tell you something. When a charge came through on the old account, they honored it with the new card. And I asked them why they did it. And they said, oh, you have a number of recurring accounts, and this one is also a recurring account. And I said, wait a minute. I've never heard of ABC so-and-so. Or whatever it was. I'm making that up. And they said, but we don't know that. And I said, then why don't you decline it? And they say they don't decline it. They approve them until the account holder complains. So this game, let me tell you how far I had to go. So I said, I want to close the entire account so no one can put anything through on the card. And let me tell you what I had to do. I had to reapply and qualify credit-wise and have a brand new stinking account to stop all of the fraudulent charges. Again, they may not happen for a year, but your information is out there and will never go away. So, Jim, I am begging you to shut down the account. Now, if you can open a brand new account at another bank, it'll help you. If you love the bank you're with, try a brand new account without a cross collateralization agreement. In other words, if you open a new account, a brand new account, no pre-existing numbers whatsoever, and even put a different middle initial or something, make it different, and then tell them that this account is not to be used in a cross collateralization arrangement, and make sure you do not sign one. This sounds like, I know you didn't want to hear all this, but I swear to God, I'm telling you the truth, and it will sting you if you do not take the precautions.
Okay. So I'm going to agree with you because I have another account. I do DoorDash, and I have an account through them.
Yeah.
Someone hit that account about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they stopped it. However, when I called DoorDash to find out how to get a new card, it came up, did you try to draw money out on this date and on this date? I'm going, we closed that account a week ago.
Right.
Oh, well, we're still trying to use it. So I agree with you. Well, I hate to close the account. I've had Chase for 20 years over there.
Now, Chase might accommodate you. Chase might let you use an alternate name with a different middle initial. They may, if you tell them, but here's what they're going to tell you, which is false. They're going to say, oh, Jim, you don't have to worry about that. Once that account is closed and you open a new one, they can never get the money out of the new account. And you say, well, what happens to all my recurring transactions? They won't tell you the truth because it's too much work on their part. And they don't want to run the risk of losing you as a customer. But that's the dirty secrets of banking, that new credit cards don't protect you and new accounts don't protect you. You have to close and move to another institution. I did. I had to close every conceivable relationship I had with Chase. I had to. And you might have to do the same thing. And it's not Chase's problem. It's just fraud. And I have a suggestion. For people to end this, we really need hard keys, something that we have to present or wave or scan. And that hard key has to be encrypted in such a way that it can't be duplicated. There's got to be a way, because right now with all the electronic transfers, we have tremendous fraud going on. Tremendous fraud. It's one online and digital crime is the number one crime right now. Number one, takes more money than anything. Jim, I appreciate you calling. You brought up a really, really, really important problem. You really did. Thank you. And
All right, Tom.
Go ahead, Rich. You have a comment on bank cards and fraud. Go ahead, Rich.
So I've talked to you before about my wife getting scammed last year for 10 grand, and they did some transactions, some Zelle transactions from our first bank. So we took your advice and we shut down, left Key Bank completely, went to another bank, and they're hitting her on that bank.
Oh my God!
So I don't know how they.
Wait a minute. How the hell did they follow her? Rich.
Your theory of going to a different bank's not working for us.
But I want to analyze this, Rich. You actually, wait, let me take this break. This is amazing to me. You actually shut it down. Now, this tells me they got something in her phone or something. Hold on. We'll talk about this and more coming up.
Hey, you want me to fill these so you don't have to worry about them? You can take a break?
Yeah, if you can, I would love it. Can you do it with the ones I actually have on file?
Much in terms of getting mobile.
Yep, sure can. You're good.
Now they'll be helping me and you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Excel Roofing is one of the best-run companies I've ever seen, and that's good. I've said it before, and I'll say
just like you would in Colorado with a qualified MD, but you get it done in Istanbul, Turkey.
one of the finest companies I know, Excel Roofing, the way they do business, the ownership and the management, from the top down, they believe in excellence, hence the name Excel Roofing. First of all, they will never trick you into any Excel Services Network.com. Absolutely the very best house cleaning service anywhere in the States.
Find out more. RecoverYourHair.com. That's true. RecoverYourHair.com. Find out more. 970-534-0676. 970-534-0676.
Excel Roofing is one of the best-run companies I've ever seen, and that's good news for you, the consumer. Because at Excel Roofing, the owner Jay Gretz knows how to do business. That's why he never puts a cancellation or penalty fee in his contract. He doesn't want to force you to do business. He wants you to want to do business with him, and he never takes any money up front. He only collects when the job is done, and never a blank contract. At Excel Roofing, they take clients and give them full contracts with everything written down, so clients know exactly what they should get. And then he negotiates with the insurance company to get you the best settlement. 303-761-6400. You never pay a dime until the job is done. 303-761-6400. ExcelRoofing.com. That's ExcelRoofing.com. Also on my referral list at referralist.com. 303-761-6400. Call whether you have old damage or new, or you simply need repairs or an evaluation. 303-761-6400. Discount bet.
Free cashback app that gets you real cashback
That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up. I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anywhere on cashback. If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code EARN to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code EARN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code EARN for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. When it comes to spring cleaning, don't miss your AC Extreme Clean Tune-Up. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. Did you know dust, dirt, and debris are the #1 killers of air conditioning? So extend the life of your AC, increase efficiency, get the fix in 24/7. Extreme Clean and Tune-Up. Nobody does it like this. Basically refurbishing your system. Lower energy bills, a longer AC life, and the famous no breakdown guarantee. New customers get this 2-hour service for $39. Normally hundreds of dollars. Book now. FixMyHome.com.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
A seasonal and breezy day ahead for your Tuesday. Temperatures are going to be in the low 70s. A little bit of a
I can't go number 2 anymore.
Kickoff summer with Memorial Day savings at Lowe's. Right now, get 5 cents Futurescapes 1.5.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
Lowe's, we help you save. Valid for 5/28.
Just fucking with the YouTubers.
Yep.
Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. 630 KHAL, an iHeart radio station.
This hour brought to you by One Clear Choice Garage Doors. The people that are ready 24/7 for your garage doors. If you have a broken spring or something, an emergency, all of their prices are on their website and everything they do. And I've been using them for 15 or 20 years. Here's the website, oneclearchoicedoors.com. Everything's spelled out there. Okay. Rich said, this is really queer. Rich said, hey, my wife's card was hacked. We changed banks and they followed her. I don't understand that, Rich. So what kind of a scam?
Right,
or how do we know it's not a new scam?
So listen to this.
All right, go ahead.
Let's go from the very beginning of the first bank.
Right.
So they got her hook, line, and sinker. We figured this all out. What they did is they called and introduced themselves as the fraud department from KeyBank.
Okay.
Then they asked her, can you confirm your social security number? Can you confirm your address? They got so much information from her because they said they were very convincing.
Right.
And they said that we see some fraud on your account.
Right.
So, yeah, somehow they followed us.
Well, either they follow. It's not so much. They're following you as they are. Well, yeah, they are following you, but it's not the bank that they were targeting. It's her. So I think no matter where she goes, she has this monkey on her back. What we have to do is figure out how to get rid of it. So here's what I want to know. What do they do?
We figured it out, Tom.
Okay, what did you do?
So the last two were Apple Pay, where they got $500 each time, twice. The bank gave it back, but it takes time. So what we're doing now is we're using what is called a clear card. So we told them exactly what you said. No cross
collateralization.
What do you call it? The
cross collateralization.
No cross collateralization. And our ATM card is called a clear card. So we only keep what money in there is what we spend. So we don't let our paychecks go to there or anything, and into this card. So if we want to go to the grocery store, and we want to, all we got to do is on our phone is transfer out, and I do it on my phone, not her phone, is transfer $200 for groceries to this Clear card, and we can use the Clear card.
Well, that's
this new bank. She's gone through three ATMs now since we've had it in January. I'm on the same one, so it's not me that they're following.
No, I know. You know, I just think
they are
you
so
have,
sophisticated.
Oh my God, it is. It's getting to be crazy. There's got to be a
Terrible.
way to do it.
Yeah.
But people give away too much information. I say don't do anything on the phone. But I don't know. Rich, thank you for the enlightenment. He's saying, go ahead.
Pull them back. Yeah.
Now, I think that you're doing the right thing for you. Everybody's going to have a different solution, but here's the main deal. Do not keep in the same bank if you suspect you've been hacked. Now, as with them, they just were hacked. Their life is hacked. We got to watch out for devices on our phones as well, and there are many good programs for that. Now, Renita, you have a question on real estate. Oh, I used to do a lot of real estate, Renetta. What is your concern or question?
I have a question having to do with a fire at my home. And they came in and did an asbestos testing within the home itself. And the results came back, and my home was built in 1946. And the testing came back and said that the entranceway was like at 17, and the other high point was in the kitchen in the lighting fixtures, and that was a little bit high, but not like a 7. But the rest of the house came out to be like 2s and 3s and stuff like that. Well, anyhow, I have a detached garage. The garage was not impacted by the fire, but they're saying that there is asbestos debris in the garage, and they want to get rid of everything in the garage now. And I have it locked up, and I have had it locked up during this whole thing, but I do unlock it to go in myself, and they're saying that I can't brought the asbestos in by my tracking.
Well, hold on now, Renetta. If you brought the asbestos in from the tracking, that's not a source, and that's easily cleaned up. If it's not being sourced there, you don't have to worry about it. You just have to get it cleaned up.
And how do I do that?
Okay. First and foremost, I want to make sure you're being handled properly by these companies. So what is this company proposing you do in the garage? What are they proposing you do?
Get rid of all my stuff.
Okay.
Because it's asbestos.
But they're not doing any great remodeling in that garage, are they?
No, and it was never tested.
Okay. What I'm concerned about is this. Where is the asbestos coming from that's showing up in the garage? Is it coming from a source, or is it coming from being tracked in? That's what we have to determine first. Once you determine that, then what you do is attack it. So it really depends on what a good company finds. It could be that you're going to need to, tent it and do it properly from the ground up, but your insurance should pay for that. So, what we need, I wish Mark and Suzanne were here. I don't know if we have, and I think Suze is listening. Mark might be listening. We need to find on our referral list, I think we have some asbestos people. I would get someone that we know and trust first, just to find out if, in fact, you have a source or it's just environmental from being tracked in. Did this existing company give you an idea? What did they say? They thought it was just debris from being tracked in?
No, they're saying that it was within the house.
I understand that. But did they say that the one in your garage, the asbestos in your garage, where do they say that's coming from?
From being tracked in. There isn't any asbestos in the garage itself.
Okay, that's good. That's good news. Did they determine that there's no asbestos in the garage?
Should I have it should I hire somebody to test the garage?
Well, yes, but here's what I'm trying to get at. Your main concern is you don't want to throw away all your stuff in the garage.
No, I want to keep all of it.
Well, your insurance should pay.
During that whole...
Your insurance should pay for cleaning it. So what's the issue?
The issue is that there is no asbestos in the garage itself, and they did not test the garage.
No, I understand.
And the issue
but what's the issue about getting your stuff cleaned?
It isn't that it's getting cleaned. It's just that they're saying that there's asbestos on the outside of my home and stuff. And the hot fire was on the south side, and they don't have that plastic down, or what do I want to call it, intained or whatever. But the rest of the place.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what.
It's okay. It's okay, Renetta. Listen, I think what you're asking. You're asking if we had asbestos tracked into the garage, and if my stuff was contaminated, can it be cleaned? That's what you're asking, right? What is that noise I'm hearing in the background? Are people talking? Do you have the radio on? If you have the radio on, you're going to be very, very confused. So I suggest you turn the radio down and not listen to us. So I'm asking you this. Is the main reason for the call you want to know if you have, if you have to get rid of your stuff or can it be cleaned? Is that the main purpose of your call?
No. The main purpose of my call is having to do with the asbestos. They're saying that the around my house on the south side where the fire was at, that is where asbestos would be. But they don't have it contained or anything there. It's flying airbound and everything else.
No, I get it. So what is the purpose? I'm trying to figure out what you want from us. Like, we want to help you. What did you call about? What is your main question?
Can my stuff in the house be cleaned?
Okay. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So let's get Rock on, and we might have to have you on tomorrow. We have Rock, who is with American Restoration 24/7. He's a good guy, and he knows a lot about this. I want to ask him, not necessarily that you hire him, but I want to ask him about the procedure when it comes to asbestos. So hang on there. Do I have to take this break? Am I behind here, bro?
Yes.
Okay.
Break.
I'm going to take this break. 303-713-8255. Hang on, Renetta.
Yeah, you got 5 minutes here, Tom. You're good.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'm reminded that I'm human. Okay.
Well, hello. How are you? It's Kelly. I'm doing very well, thank you. We have a question about asbestos. All right, hang on for me. Asbestos? Asbestos. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Best of us.
Don't know. I just work here. All right. My God, this day is starting to fall apart. terms of time, not in terms of anything else. Good afternoon, Tom Martino Show. Please hold. Good afternoon, Tom Martino Show. How can I help you? Okay, what's your first name, sir? Bill. Okay. All right, Bill, hang on for me, and he'll be with you as soon as possible. Hold on. Good afternoon, Tom Martino Show. No, it's not. Okay. Okay. All right. What's your first name? All right, Lynn. Hang on for me, and Tom will be with you as soon as possible, okay? Hold on. Uh-huh.
I don't know. Sometimes I reach for stuff and do stuff, and I don't pay attention. Take care of it, though. Take care. I hope I have enough alcohol without going back.
I can go. What do you want, the wipes or the spray?
No, I meant my spray that you only get on Amazon.
Oh, I got you.
I just hope I have enough.
Somebody covered for you a little bit?
No one's here.
142. So you.
I know. Just I know.
But I want to rest before we walk.
Right now, Colorado, you can get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
No, I'm good. I'm good till the end.
Here's owner Jim Williams. This offer is limited, so call me at 844-317-4466. That's 844-31-RHINO or rhinoshieldsco.com.
Go Rhino Shield! Auto accident? Find out what your case is worth. Call Fuller.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's get Rock on from American Restoration 24/7, amrest247.com. Hey, Rock. How you doing, Rock?
Yes.
So,
how you doing?
Good.
Doing pretty darn good.
On this kind of asbestos stuff, she had a fire in her house. They discovered asbestos in some areas, just 2 main areas. And then they said out in the garage, there was some asbestos that showed up in the air. And they believe that is from her tracking it into the garage from the house. Now, Renetta, I want to ask you something. After the fire, did you move anything from the house into the garage?
No.
Okay. They just think from you moving in and out of the garage that you contaminated it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, my next question for you. Are they saying you need to throw away all of your personal property in the house and garage?
Yes.
Okay. And you want to know, and here's the $64,000 question, Rock. Can personal belongings be cleaned?
100%. Clothing can be laundered. Now, couches and things of that nature, I would render those, because those are deep set type of things.
You throw them out.
Getting those out, I would throw them out. Anything soft, anything steel can be cleaned to industry standards. Clothes can be laundered. And I would just do it on that basis.
What about plastic stuff? What about plastic stuff?
Yes, if it's a TV, even though you just spent $1,000 on a brand new TV, it's under your discretion to clean it and keep it, but it would never be 100% cleaned, or we should say contaminant free. Now, because of the nature of fire, the whole place is pretty much considered contaminated. Garage, if the AC, if the ventilation system is on, the fire renders quite a bit contaminated. That's just the nature of fire. That's nothing anybody.
All right.
And those fibers are very, very small. They can be
here's
carried
the
around
thing,
very easily.
Renetta, your question was, can your personal belongings be cleaned? Rock is saying yes, under certain circumstances, they can be cleaned.
Why wasn't part of it? If it wasn't part of the fire.
Is there someone else talking to you, Renetta? I get the feeling you're talking to someone else. Are you, Renetta?
Yes.
Put that person on the phone. Just put him on the phone so we don't have the relay tag. Just put him on the phone.
The other part of the question is, if the garage was closed and secured, not attached to the house in which the fire was happened at, why would the garage even be part of the situation being said contaminated when there was no testing, there was no tracking, the doors were not open, it wasn't like
Rock,
everything was closed.
They want to know why the garage is even included in this whole mess. Rock.
If the testing proves that if there's contamination, I can't argue with testing. That's why you do laboratory testing. It's their property. They can choose to inhabit or have things cleaned to industry standards. It's under their discretion.
So here's what I'm asking you, Rock. There is no law or requirement. If they say, if this company is saying you got to throw your stuff out and you can't use the garage, we got to clean the garage, can they simply refuse that service, or is there any law that says they have to have it done?
No, there's no law. No, it's their stuff. It is their stuff. Now, if they are property managers or they have renters, that's a different situation. But if it's their house and they want to live in it, it's up to their discretion.
So
Now,
Renetta and your
anybody
friend,
else can,
they're saying you don't have to go by each and every recommendation of the company. You can pick and choose what you want to do. And with that, I got to take a break. So, Renetta, I mean, you're welcome to come back on with Rock tomorrow, and we'll get more into it directly. And if you want him to come over and look at it, he can do that too. But I have to take this break. Rock was with American Restoration 24/7, amrest247.com. More coming right up.
Good sir.
Oh,
Can't
you
believe
know.
you killed the Nuggets. Your jersey didn't help the second game.
Got him the first one.
That's okay. We can still blame Kelly for her fingernails.
She had that fingernails.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you something? What isn't my fault? Because
Yes.
everything is my fault on this show.
You're correct. Yeah. Now you know.
Yeah. Apparently we're done with Renita.
Yeah, you don't have to clean up your house if you don't want to. If you want to live with asbestos, live with asbestos.
You know, I'm shocked by that.
Are we done with Rock?
Yeah, we're done with both of them for now. If she wants to come back on or have him come out and look at it or whatever, we can do a follow-up.
Thanks, Rock. Appreciate it. I'm going to give Renita your number, okay? Okay. Will do. Okay. Sounds good. Thanks. All right. Bye. All right, Renita. I'm going to go ahead and give you Rock's phone number at American Restoration. And it is 833-726-7378. Rock is his name. Yes. Oh, Brad O'Brien? Yeah. All right, 720-370-7388. I'm sorry, I didn't, you kind of dropped off a little bit. Yes, correct. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for calling. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Oh, my God. Oh, this is not going to go well. I might have to get this person on tomorrow. Hey, Lynn, we're coming up to the end of the show. We might need to get you on tomorrow. Are you like free at 10 a.m.? Okay, perfect. What is the best number to reach you at? Yeah, yeah. Okay, we'll get you some help, for sure. Okay, no problem. Thank you. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Don't die. Don't die.
Startled me.
It's all right. We're done. I know. I heard him say that. Hopefully he'll be okay. Yeah.
Neimer, young rising star in the Colorado GOP, joins to discuss the Take It Down Act and his personal nightmarish experience. And stand-up comedian Greg Warren previews his upcoming special, The Champ, Tuesday at 2 on Ryan Schuling Live.
You know, I did mention that I was going to talk about as is and all of that, and I can do it, but I'm not going to cover it all. We're going to bring back Rock maybe tomorrow on this issue of asbestos. Listen, asbestos... I hope you never have to deal with it, but it can be a major, major upheaval in your life if it's found, and it's not as easy to mitigate as we might think. Now, as far as, let me grab that other stuff I'm trying to find for the as-is stuff. Even though there's something, I'm going to start here, and then I'll finish tomorrow. There's something called merchantability, warranty of merchantability. So what that says is simply this. With everything we deal with, unless otherwise noted, you really have to have, you must have what is called a warranty of merchantability, that it has to be what it is. For example, if you sell a TV, I always give this example, and you put on Nextdoor or somewhere, TV for sale, okay? And somebody buys the TV, and you're saying it's as is, and they take it home, and it's really heavy. They set it up, and they plug it in, and nothing happens. Then they open it up and see that it's filled with rocks. And you call the person and said, wait a minute, you just sold me a box of rocks. And they said, oh, yeah. And if you look further, you'll see a tin lining. This is really a planter made to look like a TV, and it's kind of cool. And you can say, well, it might be kind of cool, but it's not a TV. Now, the TV, mind you, does not have to operate. It doesn't even have to turn on, but it has to be a TV. You see, that's where it gets weird. So it has to be a TV. And then if it's not a TV, then you have violated that warranty of merchantability. And a car, for example, has to be a car. It can be a bad car, a rundown car, a bad car of any kind. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. But again, it has to be a car. Okay? So once it's in the general category of a car, it can be a lousy car. But you can't deceive people to buy something that it's not. After that, there are a bunch of other rules, but I don't have time to get into them. But we can do that tomorrow. I'm Tom Martino. Don't forget, 303-MARTINO 24/7 for help, information, and referrals. Save all your problems for me.